everybody, and welcome back to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Yay, indeed, Jimmy. Yay, indeed. My name is James Petrogallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmy Wissman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us today on another absolutely wild edition of Crime in Sports. Randy Woodfield, here we go, part 5.
He's something.
He is wild. We will get to that. He has done a lot of killing. This is just
sure enough
chock full of murder, this one. I don't know if we've done a Crime in Sports with so much just...
No.
I don't know.
God, no.
I mean, you know, a bunch of people have killed a few people, but
sure.
This is another.
Not like this.
This is fucking crazy. So we'll get to all that before we end the episode, obviously. So before we do, though, head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Get your tickets for Small Town Murder live shows. Get your Crime and Sports merch. Yeah. Anything you want. Get at Small Town. What is it? Shutupandgivememurder.com.
Shutupandgivememurder.com.
There you go.
Yeah.
Do that. So do that. Come hang out with us. Come see a live show. They're fun.
Yes,
and please hang out with us there. So do that. You also certainly want to get Patreon. Patreon.com/crimeinsports is where you get all of your bonus material. Anybody, $5 a month or above, you are going to get tons of stuff. First of all, not only a huge back catalog of bonus episodes you've never heard before, you get immediately upon subscription, hundreds of episodes. Then you get new ones every other week, one Crime in Sports, one Small Town Murder. And if that wasn't enough, and I think that's enough, but we said, you know what? That's not enough for these fine people. They need more. Now you get all 3 shows, Crime and Sports, Your Stupid Opinions, and both Small Town Murder episodes, all ad-free on Patreon as well. So, I mean, what more could we give you?
What do you want?
We'll come over, wax your car. I mean, what else can we do for our $5? We'll do it, man. So don't test us. We will. You know what I mean? It's I'll buff that thing right out.
I got it in the garage. I got an orbital.
We got it. Yeah, we can do it, man. Let's do that. So that's patreon.com/crimeinsports, and you get a shout out at the end of the show.
You bet.
Jimmy will go ahead and mess your name all up for you, so don't you worry about that. Let's dive right back into Randy here, because
here we go.
He is a goddamn mess. When we left off last time, he just had been taken from his home, basically. They were surveilling him for days. They came in to finally take a look around, and they found a couple of things that they could take him for a probation or a parole violation on, a bong, a Coke straw, some things like...
Hang on to him for that.
And they found a bunch of burned just ashes in the fireplace that they were afraid was their evidence. So that was a problem. So they're talking to him here, and that's where we left off. They were talking to him in the apartment, and they were asking him about where he's been and all that kind of thing here. So they asked him, how about Albany? You ever stopped for coffee or anything there?
Ever, yeah.
And he said, no, don't know anyone there. And they said, when was the last time you were in Portland? He said, last weekend. My parents just got back from a tour of Taiwan. So now they start asking him about girlfriends. What about ladies that you hang out with? And he said, well, I have a fiance. You know, I was Shelly, and I know a young lady who works as a babysitter in Eugene, and there's all sorts of girlfriend talk at this point. They bring him in. They said, when was the last time you were in Redding? And he says, Redding, California? I can't really remember. It's been a while. They said, well, we understand you made a trip to California. You didn't stop in Redding? And he said, I told you I don't remember. So he conveniently doesn't remember things that are incriminating for him, which that's fine. They said, do you have any other kind of tape around here? And they said, you know, what kind of tape? He said, you know, they said strong tape.
White?
You know, tape, strong tape.
Something
like they use
fibers in it and shit.
Yeah, for packages. And then this is, I know we did this last week. I'm just kind of dovetailing them together. They asked, what kind of hat do you usually wear? And he said, I don't wear hats. They smash my afro down, which was hilarious, I thought, here. So anyway, they bring him down to the station here. And this is where they're going to have a little chat with him. They put him in the interrogation room. And this is where the real talk begins, because that talk was just, you know, preliminary. Well, they were standing in his house, for Christ's sake, at that point. So there's they don't exactly have the advantage when you're in his environment.
Right.
You want to get him in this little room in an uncomfortable place, you know, with where you have all the advantages. You know, the one-way mirror, so everybody's watching. There's multiple different departments standing out there watching this whole thing. It's Kamenick in there with the other guy and Griesel, and they're in there questioning him. And they ask him, do you wish to consult with an attorney? And And he says he doesn't want an attorney, but I do want to call someone who can call one of my friends here. He said, I want Jennifer to get a hold of Shelly. If we remember, while this is going on, his fiancée Shelly has dropped out of school, packed up her whole life in a U-Haul, and is currently driving to his house to be with him forever while he's being interrogated for multiple murders. So,
wow.
It's not good. So Randy says, no, don't need that. And they said, okay, well, what's her number? We'll call her and you can talk to her. And he said, she's hard to get a hold of. She's a college student. And they're like, well, okay, then why'd you bring it up, basically? They said, well, we can call anybody you like. Well, whatever you want. And he said, I'll call her later. Ask me what you want to know. So he's like, let's get this over with. So they said, okay, Randy, we're basically trying to pinpoint where you were on certain dates and times.
Yes.
And he said, well, I could give you any information you need to prove I'm innocent if I have to. Okay. All right. He said, if you're innocent, we could check out those dates and locations to verify, and that could establish alibis for you. And it would help us, too, because then we could move ahead and find somebody else to look at. Sure. He said, if we can eliminate you as a suspect, we can keep going after the right guy. You know what I mean? Randy said, I know my parole is going to be violated. I know I'm going back to the joint.
You are.
And Greasel says, whose fault is that?
Yeah.
Which is hilarious. So Randy says, my own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was rhetorical, Randy.
You were doing bong hits and not telling your probation officer where you were and shit like that. He said, it really doesn't bother me, but it looks like my world is going to be inside for quite a while. And they said, well, if you were sure you were going back, why did you wait for us at the house today?
Right.
Why didn't you take off? He said, it wouldn't do any good to run, so I just waited for some officer to come and get me. What's that going to get him, another day or two if he takes off? I mean, who cares? So they said basically at this point, he's just kind of portraying himself as this poor ex-con who they drag in and just ask him these hard questions just because of his past. And, this poor guy, he's got to go through it. That's the role. It's a little woe is me-ish, yeah. So they said, have you been working at all down here? And he said, not yet, but I've been looking for a job, and I've been playing basketball, which is not a job, by the way.
No, that's free.
That's just hanging out.
That's recreation.
They said, what kind of shoes do you wear for basketball?
Oh.
Now, this seems like a very innocuous question of just guys bullshitting about, hey, well, what kind of shoes do you wear when you play?
What do you got?
But
Air Force One?
It's really, they want to know if it matches with the victim's descriptions of the Nike high tops that he's had. So he said, I like Nike high tops. That's helpful.
Yeah.
He said, my ankles are weak. My ankles are weak. Had to have special shoes smuggled into the pen. I got in trouble, but they smuggled dope and other junk in, so high-top basketball shoes aren't really a major crime. Basketball weakened my ankles, and I hurt my knees playing football. Outside of that, I keep in pretty good shape.
Okay. Below the waist, though. Below the thighs.
Below the thighs, yeah. Dick, we know his dick works.
But dick's working great.
Unfortunately. Unfortunately for a lot of people, his penis is functioning with a plum. It's really
way too much.
Way too much, yeah. They said, do you ever have a vasectomy?
Yeah.
And he said, no. And then he said, you going to take my blood today? And they said, we might. Do you have an objection to that?
Shoes.
Yeah. Shoes. Do you have, he said, do you have an objection to that? And he said, I don't want to let you take blood today.
Oh.
And they said, do you ever have gonorrhea? Any kind of VD?
Yeah.
Let's go, Randy. We're just having this is guy talk now.
This is a fascinating jump from question to question. What kind of shoes do you like? Nike
got
high tops?
VD?
Oh, yeah. You got VD?
How's your dick drip going? Is that okay? How's your pants wet? What's going on? So, yeah, you ever have gonorrhea, any kind of VD? And he said, I really screwed up when I got out of the pen. Got in a hurry and caught herpes. That's how it happens.
Gotten in a hurry?
If you go too fast, that's how herpes happen. It's not a disease or a virus. It's from friction.
Burns.
It's a friction.
It's friction burns that keep coming back.
Can't go too fast. That's the problem. Yeah, you weaken the skin in that area from the friction. And
got in a hurry.
Got in a hurry, man. You know how it is. That's a wild fucking.
That's fascinating. Is that an excuse? I don't know.
Got in a hurry. I don't even know what that is. Could have said, this girl, she seemed all right, blah, blah, blah. No, got in a hurry.
Got in a hurry.
It's the weirdest thing ever. So strange. So that's obviously a big concession that he's giving because he gave herpes to a couple of his victims. So, especially Beth Wilmot. So the detective said, would you like some food? And he said, I don't want jail food. I don't like it. So they
Not a
said,
fan.
they said, okay, we can send out for something. What do you want, McDonald's? Well, I mean, sky's the limit here.
Whatever, yeah.
Randy said, I don't want to put anyone out.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't want to make anyone have to
Now?
go. Yeah, I don't want to inconvenience anybody. You know.
You raped a woman and gave her herpes, man.
Yeah, well,
That's
but
so inconvenient.
I don't want to put her out, though. I wouldn't make her go get food. You know what I mean? I did all that where she was, at least. Send her to get food. That's a whole other thing. Yeah.
KFC, no thanks.
I mean, herpes is one thing. Food is another. That's a whole other thing. Making a food run, you know.
That's crazy.
Yeah. They said, so you play basketball for what team? And he said, Columbia Optical. It's an eye
exam place?
Yes, an eye exam place, a store that has sponsors a team. They said, could you tell us what nights you've played? Have you missed any games? He said, I missed some games, but I couldn't tell you specific dates. This is another thing he does, too, where sometimes he remembers things on specific dates really easily when it helps him.
Yeah.
But, like, if it could hurt him, he's real, I don't
Foggy,
know.
yeah.
Got a real foggy, nebulous memory when it comes to dates. Can't quite put his finger on it.
Yeah.
He said, what kind of jobs you been looking for? He said, tending bar. I just finished a bartending course in Portland where I learned to make any kind of drink you might ask for. I hope to tend bar nights so I can go to school. So Greasel says, you learned how to make a Freddy Fudd warmer?
What is that?
And Randy said, I think that's your basic Harvey Wallbanger with a sillier name.
Okay.
Now, you're wondering why the fuck they're asking this if you don't watch interrogations at all, but this is called building rapport. This is
it's
couple of
friendship happening. Yeah,
it's guy talk. We're talking about chicks and herpes and VD and basketball and what kind of shoes you wear and, you know, it's just guy talk. Every once in a while there's a question with some kind of something of meaning, like did you ever get VD? Whereas everything else doesn't really matter. They don't give a shit if he knows how to make a Freddy fucking fuck warmer.
Right. They happen to be peppered in between nebulous dumb questions. You ever heard of a Freddy fuck warmer?
Yeah, you know that one? You know Freddy fuck warmer? Oh.
Yeah. How are the open sores on your dick today?
How's that going? How's your friction burn working out for you? Wild shit. So, yeah, this is an interesting thing. So if you watch an interrogation like on YouTube and you'll see they'll have a whole one and you're like, why is it 4.5 hours long if the person confessed? Because it took 2 hours to get into the part
to anything,
of where the guy feels comfortable and, you know, might actually say something. So they said, you consider yourself a religious man, Randy, do you?
Yeah.
Were you involved in religion when you were in the joint? And he says, yeah, I was into religion a lot then. But somewhere along the line, I guess I just told God to take a back seat.
Take a hike.
Take a hike. I got some raping to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I got some VD to spread.
Yeah. He tends to frown on all the raping I do. So I was like, you take a back seat, buddy. I don't need your fucking guff. So at that point, they said they sit around and there's like a moment of silence here. Yeah. And out of nowhere, Randy just bursts out with, they had women guards watching me when I had to take a piss. Remember he complained about that earlier?
He hated that. Yeah.
He's got a real fucking chip on his shoulder.
Craw.
Yeah.
You can't get enough of. Oh man.
He said they had these nurses in group therapy wanting us to share our sexual fantasies. They wouldn't share theirs with us, so why should I tell them mine? Dude, like they didn't ask that. They asked, "Are you?" The question was, "You a religious guy, Randy?" That's the question. And he comes out with, "I hate women so much.
Yeah.
I really do."
They want to know about everything I beat off to, but they won't tell me what they beat off to.
Fucking ridiculous, right? Not fair. Yeah. I'm like, you got a vibrator or what? They won't tell me. It's bullshit. Got any pictures?
Is going to get in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Got nothing. So they said, do you feel uncomfortable around women, Randy? And he says, no, not at all. I like women.
The most comfortable.
The most comfortable. He said, do you think your basketball buddies would remember which games you were at and which ones you missed? And Randy says, they might. They might not.
Buddies.
Buddies. And again, more guy talk. What position do you play? Let's talk about ball. He says, center. I'm their high scorer. Everybody passes me the ball. I know what I'm capable of doing. It's a matter of being in control at all times, especially in sports. If you don't have control, things go to shit.
Sure don't like that sentence.
Dude, center is the answer.
Yeah.
End of question. End of answer.
I like being in control.
That's what I mean. The question is, what position do you play in basketball, Randy? And he said, I like control.
I'm a dominant, crazy fuck.
Are you a religious guy? I hate women. Like, it's so fucking weird. Like, he has, I mean, dude, fuck, man. Just say center. That's all. Center. I'm the tallest guy. That's all you got to say.
Wow.
End of fucking story. But he said, nope, things go to shit. So they said, you feel up when you're competing? Does it make you more aware of the things around you when you're competing? And he said, oh, sure. The roar of the crowd and all that. I thought I might be slower in my rookie games at Green Bay. He's got to put that in there. Yeah. But with 40,000 people watching, it actually speeded me up. I like that. I like to be active, working or playing sports. Sitting around these past couple months in Eugene has been hard for me. I'm really looking forward to getting back to college. I like studying, except for economics. Okay, none of that matters. They said, Randy, we have a problem.
Big one.
Big problem that maybe you can help us out with. We hope you can, honestly.
We got a rapist on the list.
There's a lot going on here, and obviously a lot of pressure on us. You know how it is. As they try to do, too. You could, imagine being in my position, and he's like, oh, yeah, the killer's always
I'm chasing a rapist.
Yeah,
he's
he's like,
help, that'd be great.
A lot of pressure. These you know how it is, man. You know, when your job's pushing on you, that's something everybody can relate to.
Sure.
They said, we have the records from Arden's phone. Now, that's his landlord.
Yeah.
You called from certain cities in California and other places in southern Oregon where some of our crimes occurred. Now we're getting into it. Yeah. And you charged those calls to your home phone. We've got toll calls listed that you made in Independence and Woodburn, Oregon on the night that Shari Hull and Beth Wilmot were shot near Kaiser outside of Salem.
Yeah.
You seem to have been in several areas the same days as our crimes occurred.
That's not good.
No, that's not good at all here. So he says, I called Shelley in New Mexico and charged it to my home phone. Okay, that's great. They said, well, where were you in Salem on Sunday night, January 18th? And he said, I might have been. I stop there often, and I call often and charge it to my home phone. Again, real foggy on details when it comes to this shit. They said, try to remember. The records say you made calls to Salem at 1 p.m., 1:42 p.m., and 5 p.m. on January 18th. You made a call from a booth in Independence just south of Salem at 9 p.m., from Woodburn north of Salem at 10:30 p.m. Do you know where Kaiser is? And he nodded. Yeah. They said, did you drive from Independence through Salem toward Portland on the I-5 that night?
Right.
Nods. And they said, then you would have had to pass right through Kaiser. You would have been a few hundred feet from where our victims were shot in Kaiser between 9 and 10:30 p.m. Our crime occurred in that time frame. So now they went from just, picking stuff out of the air to something very specific.
Yeah. You would have driven exactly through this area at the exact same time as the crime. Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Isn't that weird that we have your phone calls? You were here, then you were here. So you'd have had to go through there to get to there.
Yeah.
Interesting.
This murder's on the way, doggy.
Interesting. Randy? Randy's response? Silence.
Well,
doesn't say shit. Doesn't say a fucking word.
Time. God damn it.
He just sits there. And they said, do you ever do anything that changes your appearance? Change your hairstyle, wear a hat, anything like that? He said, no, my hair's naturally curly. I don't do anything to it, which again is a lie.
Oh, lying bastard.
Why are you vain here? Yeah, just go, no, I got a perm and, you got to keep it up and stuff. Why would I wear a hat if I spend all this time on my mane here? Wow. And they said, you always look just the way we see you now. And, he said, yeah, except for when I grew a beard in the joint. They didn't like it.
The joint didn't like it.
He's real bitter about the joint here and anything that happened there. They said, could you tell us a little bit about your habits, how you stay out, how late you stay out, what you drink, how much? And Randy eases up noticeably, gets up in his chair more. Now he's ready to talk because we've gone away from math questions of were you around a murder and gone to just, back to guy talk. So he said that, I don't get drunk. When I drink beer. It makes me easygoing, maybe a little louder than I normally am. I'm usually home right after the bars close. Okay. They say, ever get in a fight? When was your last fight? Which again, this is just guy talk. He's not accused of beating anybody to death in a bar. Yeah. He said, I don't get into many fights. I don't like getting hit in the nose. That's smarts. That's smarts. That's smarts. I was going to play in the NFL, but I don't like getting hit very much.
The Three Stooges response of that smart. That's
smart.
Crazy.
I think Beaver said that to Wally one time when something happened. Like, it's really an old-timey way to put that.
Hysterical.
And he's just sitting there grinning.
Yeah.
He said, what attracts you in a female?
Yeah.
Now, the Greasel, again, they're going to try to make a connection here. Right. So he says, what attracts you in a female? Myself, I go for the upper structure, if you know what I mean. I'm a tit man.
I'm a tits guy.
That's what Greasel said. I like the tits. She got a big rack.
I like them bouncy, you know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? Randy answered with a complete lie and said, quote, breasts aren't a big deal for me.
No?
Which is all he's about.
He's a
tits and more tits.
Some bitch, yeah.
He said, I like a woman with an athletic build. Women with nice asses are usually athletic. I like a woman who dresses conservatively. I don't like revealing clothing. That's not classy. That's not classy.
He likes a classy gal.
He likes a classy gal so he can, rape her and jizz on her.
Right.
You're class. Right. In a church's chicken bathroom. All class. It's all class. The guy's class. Wow. That's wild.
Dump them out so I can rub them and throw this in your mouth. Class.
You know how it is. Classy. Things like that. Church's chicken uniform. That turns me on.
Dunk this in your face.
That kind of thing. So they said, you must meet a lot of attractive women tending bar, huh? Yeah. And he says, well, right, yeah, most places I've worked, especially everybody parties after hours, which again isn't what they asked. Just, there's a lot of, it's a bar, a lot of attractive women come in a bar.
If everybody parties after hours, then there's a lot of not so attractive people there.
Then that would be everybody, yeah. They said they go from that to, why do you think the Beaverton police are so adamant about you being a good suspect in their case? That's whoa, hey, come on, guys.
Why do you think these guys like you?
Yeah. He says, they were talking about Julie Reitz, and I knew her. She played up to me. Played up to me. I don't know. They said, well, how old?
On to me?
I guess. They said, how old was Julie? But they know that, obviously. But they're asking him. He says 18 or 19, but she had an ID that said she was 21. I was surprised at how mature she acted for her age, but I didn't know her that well. I knew her girlfriend better. I said, you ever date Julie? He says, I won't tell you that. But not like I'm not going to tell you. He means like I won't say that we dated, basically. Okay. He said, well, it's not important anyway. I went to her house once after hours. So he starts with, no, I'm not saying anything. Then he's like, well, I guess, fuck it, who cares? They said, you told us before that 3 women you know had been murdered. Who were these 3 women? Yeah. And he said, well, there was Julie. That's my best friend. That's the one they were just talking about, Reitz. And then they said, then there's my best friend's fiance or ex-fiance, Darcy Fix. Remember that? Her and her new fiance were murdered. I knew her because my friend introduced us and we went out to dinner. But my friend broke off that relationship before she was shot. And then there was Sherry Ayers. I went to high school with Sherry at Newport High School. She was killed in the Terwilliger Boulevard area in Portland. She was a good Christian girl. She helped us set up our class reunion. They said, how was it that you knew her in Portland? That was a long time after graduation. He said, I just ran into her by accident. I think Sherry was going to school there. They go, that's sure a lot of people to know and have them all be killed in the space of a year.
Absolutely.
And he said, yeah. Unless you're in the mafia or the Bloods or something, you shouldn't know
following you, man.
You shouldn't know 3 people under 25 that are killed in a year. Like that's
death is right on your shoulder, bud.
That is wild, man. Crazy. So, interesting. So they said that, that's a lot of people. And he says, yeah.
Sure is.
Yeah. And can't deny that, I guess. So they said, well, Captain Bishop and Detective Loper saw a gun cleaning kit in your room. What did you use that for?
Yeah.
This is an awesome lie. This is awesome.
I mean, the answer is cleaning guns.
Answer's cleaning guns, but this is amazing. Like, I would never have the balls to say this in front of human beings in a police interrogation room. He said, quote, I never had a gun. I used some of the swabs from the kit with alcohol to clean my face. He cleaned his face.
I shop at Cabela's for face cleaners.
That's where I do my skincare shopping. I do my skincare shopping in the gun aisle at Cabela's, usually.
You got any oil stripper for my face? How much do you break out? How much are you retaining your youthful acne?
The other thing, when he breaks out in pimples, he just gets the drying agent for one of those 2-part like spackle jobs. You know what I mean? Because that has what's it called in it? The benzoyl peroxide.
Okay,
it's full of it because it's a drying agent. That's the point.
It strips,
But it has like 100 times more than like, Oxy or Clearasil or something.
Ooh,
so I think he's I just go to the hardware store for everything.
Get some hops, just strip it down. Yeah. And then
God.
relubricate, you see, because you got to strip it and then put the right amount.
Obviously. Yeah. So I got the oil in the
oil's
kit.
the best. Yeah.
See my youthful appearance here? Look at my eyes. No crow's feet. There's a reason for that.
It's
gun
proven.
oil.
It's frictionless. Yeah.
That's what I do.
It breaks down the friction of a bullet. It'll certainly.
You should see what it does to your.
It'll certainly.
Your laugh lines. Forget about it.
Wow.
So
crazy.
That's crazy. And they were like, and rather than be like, "What are you fucking kidding me, Randy? Give me a break." Which
it's not a thing, Randy.
It had to be real hard not to laugh in his face and go, use a gun cleaning kit to clean your face. Okay. So they said, all right, when you're in Portland, where do you stay? And he said, with my friends or my sister. They said, do you think you might be able to remember when or where you were on these dates we're concerned about? And he said, if I had to, I could prove it in court that I was in those places. If I had to.
You're about to have to.
That's what I mean. Randy, was not looking good here. You know what I mean? But he's also doesn't seem like he's going to say anything. He doesn't seem like he's going to give this whole thing up.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you don't have to prove anything in court. It's on the state's burden to prove things. But we're going to do it real fucking easy.
It's pretty easy. We got just that one. You were here, then you're here, and then they're dead in the middle is kind of,
Didn't he say he was no good at math? I mean,
no good. Economics. Doesn't like it.
Yeah.
So Kamenik says it might be necessary to go to court. On the night of one of those incidents in Corvallis, your landlady told us you didn't come home all night.
It's a problem.
Randy said, I find that hard to believe.
Oh, well.
What? That you weren't home or that she would have said that? What are we talking about?
Find anything.
He said, I've never been away all night except when I was on a trip.
Yeah.
They said, well, we'd be happy if you could give us alibis, but it seems evident that you can't do that. We think you're the I-5 bandit. Now they come out straight out and say, look,
bingo.
This is what we think.
Yeah.
He said, quote, I'm not pleading guilty to that one, and I'm not the I-5 killer. He even upped it to killer now.
Oh.
See, that sounds cooler. You know what I mean? Yeah. He said, I'm not going to defend myself because I don't have to, which is true. He technically doesn't have to say shit or do anything. You can prove it if you want to know. So then he started after that. There's a pause, and then he starts trying to prove it and defend himself. Yeah. I don't have to defend myself. I won't dignify that. And then he's like, all right, let me do all that.
I was here on this date.
Yeah, he did. He said,
this is why I don't have to prove anything.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about how to save on your wireless bill with Mint Mobile.
MintMobile.com.
Absolutely. It's summertime.
Yes.
It's summertime, and here's what Mint Mobile wants you to do. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Do some barbecues. Have a 3-day weekend. Have some summer plans. Go to the beach. And while you're doing all of this, don't worry about your wireless bill. That's what they want from you. Yeah. And that's what you can do with Mint Mobile. It's great. They're offering 3 months of unlimited premium wireless service for $15 a month. So let your friends sweat it all out all summer over overages and all data costs and all that kind of thing. You just kick back, you chill, and you get your nice, easy, low-cost thing here. Say goodbye to your overpriced plan, these crazy bills that are going to come out that you don't know, unexpected overages. All these plans come with high-speed data, unlimited talk and text, delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can bring your own phone number. Get rid of that overpriced wireless and get 3 months of unlimited service from Mint Mobile for $15 a month. Yes. We did it. To go from $100 a month to 15 is pretty nice. I gotta say, that feels pretty good.
Yeah.
You can do it too. This year, skip breaking a sweat and breaking the bank. Get this new customer offer and your 3-month unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/crimeinsports. That's mintmobile.com/crimeinsports. Upfront payment of $45 required, equivalent to $15 a month. Limited new time customer offer for first 3 months only. Speeds may slow above 35 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details.
And now back to the show.
He said, I travel a lot. I went to San Francisco on January 29th. Now he knows dates all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I drove down there to meet Shelly, my girlfriend. I stayed in Ashland at a friend's house on the way down. I spent the weekend with my girlfriend. Then I drove back to Oregon. They said, what would be the exact dates? And he said, I can't be absolutely sure. I think I left for San Francisco on January 28th. I must have been there around the 31st or the 1st of February. Got back to Eugene about the 3rd or 4th. Stayed at my sister's in Mount Shasta for one night on the way home. Stayed one night in my friend's with a friend in Medford on the way back. Look, I can't be expected to remember exact dates or times or locations. The past is history.
The past is the past,
The
babe.
past is history is the greatest line. You know, I mean, if every murder suspect just said that, I guess you're right. Yeah, the person been murdered, but that's in the past. The past is history. Fuck it. Never mind.
That was yesterday.
Wow. I mean, Jesus, at what point does it become the past? How much time has to pass before it's the past? Is it 5 minutes?
I think that's what he believes.
If you're standing over someone with a bloody knife and they're dead and they walk in, you go, I mean, that happened in the past.
It's over.
It was like 6 minutes ago. Yeah. I mean, can't change the past, right?
Nothing you can do.
Oh, man. That's so fucking funny. I'm dying. So, yeah, he says, the past is history. I would like to help you more, but I can't do it at this time.
Okay.
Maybe later, I guess is what he said.
Some other time.
They said, do you think you need an attorney now?
Uh-huh.
And he said, no, I don't.
Oh.
But then he gave the detectives a name and phone number for his attorney to call. So,
Call this guy. Yeah.
do you need an attorney? No. Will you please call my attorney?
Call this guy.
This is a wild interview, man. So the Kamenic says, I'm going to call him for you. We'd like to help you if we could. You're not giving us anything to go on. And then Randy said, how are you going to help me? You could put me away forever. And that was the end of the interview.
Yeah, that's what we're helping you.
We're hoping you would do that. Either help us put you away forever or
go to
clear
jail
yourself.
forever.
One of the two. Yeah, either or. So anyway, here we go. The interview's over. So they're holding him for the parole violation. They have definitely not charged him with anything as far as murders, robberies, rapes, anything like that. Now, where the hell is poor Shelly?
She's on her way, right?
Poor Shelly. Dude, this is the most...
Oh.
This woman, I feel worse for her than Ted Bundy's girlfriend. I really do. Because she's in college. She had a whole life going on. She uproots everything. She's got her U-Haul full of shit, and she shows up to her fiance being the murder suspect of one of the huge serial killing. Yeah. Fucking
showing up to a man's arraignment who has a nickname. A nickname in murder is bad. Very bad.
It's not like Sparky or something. It's fucking. No. He doesn't have a nickname like that. He's not Tex. He
has the
I-5
killer.
That's not good.
It's terrible.
That's a bad one. Yeah. So Shelly got excited. She's a few miles outside of Eugene. She has no idea this is going on. This is pre-cell phones, and there's no way to get it. If someone's on the road, they're on the road.
You got to wait till they stop.
Unless they call you. That's it. Yeah.
That's
so.
It.
She is psyched. She's all excited, and she can't wait. She's going to be married soon. Yeah. So she stops at a payphone to call and tell him that she's just about to arrive. Ooh. She's almost there. Yeah. Phone just kept ringing. Nobody home. She kept trying again and again and again. She's like, what the fuck? So she drove to her father's house to wait. Yeah. And she just waited for Randy to call. He didn't goddamn call, obviously.
No call.
Not at all. So... Then his apartment in Springfield, Oregon is searched. That's where he lives here. And they're searching for, this is from the search warrant here, a false beard, white adhesive tape, silver pistol, blue jeans with a button above the zippered fly. Well, fuck, I'm wearing that now.
Jeans.
So jeans, yeah. Regular jeans and not button fly. A dark stocking cap, a blue or green waist-length jacket, a red and white checked paper sack bearing the logo of Fabric Patch, brown army-type boots, a brown waist-length jacket with hood, blue gloves, tennis or jogging shoes, a Smith & Wesson .38 caliber revolver or other small revolver, as well as head, facial, body, axillary, and pubic hairs, transferred clothing fibers, and semen stains on any underclothing and or trousers, as well as any ashes or unburned parts of material found therein.
Okay.
That's what they want. Now, they could also legally seize articles that are in clear view that aren't in the search warrant. If it's sitting out, they can grab it, but to search is for the other shit. But they're looking for such small things they can search anywhere.
Right.
I mean, it's the smallest little compartment. Like if you were looking for, a fucking a 68 Camaro engine, you couldn't look in somebody's dresser drawers, obviously. Right. You know what I mean? Because it couldn't fit in there. So, but this, they can look anywhere because they're looking for a gun. They're looking for little tiny things. I mean, hairs and semen and shit. So all sorts of cops come. Criminalists from everywhere are picking this home apart, obviously. They're just going to take as much time as they need. They end up taking 64 items from the house. Most of them were not really evidence, but they just took them anyway. Sure. They found some circumstantial shit, a bunch of pairs of blue jeans, but it's 1981. Go to everybody. Everyone's got 5 pairs of fucking blue jeans. Like that's just from then on. We all have jeans. I mean, I think everybody pretty much has some jeans out there. A hooded sweatshirt, again, pretty common item. A blue, maroon, and white knit shirt. Several pairs of sports shoes. A jogging outfit. All of it fit with the clothing worn by the man who had attacked the women. But also, this is not like weird shit that nobody else has. So. Right. If he had like some high-end Armani suit on or something when he did it, that would be a little more. Not everyone on the street has that in their closet, but everybody's got jeans and sneakers. So, so they were doing that. They said many were. They said some of the items bore dark stains. They were hoping it's blood. Yeah. Maybe some evidence here. So, one pubic hair seized under the search warrant from his body was microscopically indistinguishable in class and characteristics from the single pubic hair found in the Transamerica building on January 18th, the night where he shot those 2 girls, Wilmot and Sherry. So the thing is, though, this is that's not DNA.
No.
That's when they would put 2 pubes together and say, those look similar.
They look similar, yeah.
And the most similar kind, the hardest to tell, are dark-haired people. It's all the same. Yeah. It's really hard to tell.
The thing about hairs is that they're hair.
Yeah, it's hard.
If
not
it's
an
the
exact
same
science.
type, there's a lot of that type on this planet. Yeah.
Totally. It's definitely not the
conclusive.
It's not a conclusive thing. No. I mean, they would. I don't even know how they would allow that in a court, but I guess that's the best they had at the time. They found one single .32 caliber bullet in the pouch of a racquetball bag in his bedroom.
It's a weird place to store that.
Yeah, one bullet. It's a Remington Peters .32 Colt long bullet, and it's not common at all. It's a very rare bullet, as a matter of fact. Not common. Not everybody has this in their closet. And it's the same type of bullet used in the shootings of Beth Wilmot, Shari Hull, Janelle Jarvis, and Donna Eckert.
Yeah.
All was shot with this rare. First of all, if you're going to start doing murders, get the most common bullet you can find. Yeah. That is, they sell everywhere on the planet.
9mm or 22 long rifle.
That's
those are your most common.
Not that we want people to go and do murder, but if you're going to do anything, at least fucking try.
Yeah.
Fucking think ahead. What are we doing here? So they said that, why did he save it? Maybe he forgot it. Don't know, but it's in there. The rest of the evidence doesn't mean much. The stains on the clothing weren't blood at all. They were something else. They found traces of blood and semen on his mattress, but they found there wasn't enough to test for origin.
Oh.
Again, back then, this isn't DNA. DNA isn't even thought of yet, for Christ's sake, but you can't do any kind of even like a typing on it or anything. So the landlord told the detectives that she never used her fireplace. If you remember, he said that the kid was always using it. So she said the ashes found in there came from a fire after we left, when you told us what was going on and we took off. So they were like, shit, that's not good. The only thing they could get out of the fire were nails, melted glass fragments, bottle caps, aluminum foil, and metal lids. Just shit that doesn't burn, basically. Yeah. So they said, damn it, he was burning stuff. So, I mean, they have a lot of circumstantial evidence and a lot of coincidences.
Yeah.
But they have really nothing you could go to court with and say, this guy killed all these people and we know he did it for sure. You need something. You need ballistics. You need to really put together a whole deal here. And they start to put together the timeline of everything. They said that they sent a trooper off to check phone numbers he called in Medford and to follow up on any cards he had received from women there. So one of the detectives would interview all the people whose phone numbers he called from in Salem on the afternoon of January 18th and February 15th. The one detective contacted Pacific Northwest Bell Security, that's the phone company, and received the names and addresses of the subscribers for the calls. So they're finding out who he called. His long-distance phone calls made from payphones and billed to his home phone, when correlated with his contacts with all these women that he was talking to, showed that he was in the vicinities of a lot of fucking crimes. Kamenik says, once we homed in on him, the case against Randy Woodfield became like a runaway landslide. It took so long for that first rock to let go and tumble down the hill, but then everywhere we turned, we found more things that tied Randy to our victims. Yep. Little pebbles of information grew into boulders, and everything pointed to Randy.
Loose soil, babe.
That's it. It's always that first one, that one little thing. I mean, otherwise, how would you catch him? So they interviewed 2 young women Randy had called continually on Sunday, January 18th. That's Penny Hale and Lou Lester, and established that he had been headed for Salem that day. They heard about the, quote, weirdo who'd followed the Salem girls home from the TGI Fridays in Portland on January 10th. They said, quote, we tried to lose him on the road, but he stayed right behind us. I gave him a cup of coffee, sent him to Eugene, but after that he kept calling me. I didn't want to see him again. I avoided the calls. So he just stalks people on the road. That's how he meets girls. Wow. Yeah. Everybody is just fair game for the pickings here. So they said that, basically he called Penny, this girl that he's talking to, and when she wasn't home to receive his calls, he asked another girl to go with him to Portland, but she didn't want to either. Right. So with the information that these 2 women had rejected his advances on the afternoon of January 18th, he might have been pissed off. That's the night he drove through Kaiser, Oregon with Beth Wilmot and Sherry Hull. Mm-hmm. So if one of these girls would have gone with him for the drive, he certainly wouldn't have stopped him.
Maybe to hurt somebody. Yeah.
Well, we know for sure. I mean, hold on a minute. I just got to go rape and kill a couple people. Can you stay in the car? Keep it running. Keep the heat on,
But chilly. Also, anybody that would have went with him would have been in trouble, dire trouble.
Possibly, but the people he was like close to like that, that's not who he went after.
Yeah?
No. I mean, that's not how it worked for him. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like the thing with like Ted Bundy, the safest you could have been with Ted Bundy was to be friends, to go right up to him and make friends with him. Yeah. Because anyway, he didn't kill anybody he was friends with, like that he met around other people and was friends with. Only, people he met like that. Yeah, because you can't.
Otherwise you get caught.
Exactly. Whereas this guy kills acquaintances sometimes, which is a problem. And especially people he's had beef with and who've rejected him and shit like that. Yeah. So here's, they said at 10:31 p.m., records indicated that Randy made another phone call from a phone booth in Woodburn, 13 miles north of Kaiser on the I-5. Right after that murder, the murder and the shooting. This call was to Moira Bandon. That's the girl that he followed on the freeway and pulled over in the burger place and talked to for a while here. So yeah, I get. Oh no, that's the girl. I'm sorry, that's the one he lived with for a few months after he got out of the penitentiary. Not the one he tracked down. Yeah, Moira. Okay. Moira said that Randy had asked if he could sleep on her couch that night because he had to take a bartender's exam in Portland the next day.
Right. Yeah,
yes, that's that girl. Right. Okay. Moira told Randy that she didn't have a spare bed or a couch, but if he wanted to come up and sleep on her beanbag chair, that he could. You want to have a sore neck for the next week? Knock yourself out, Chief.
You ain't going to mix shit tomorrow.
No, you'll be hurting. He said he was in Woodburn when he called, and he got to my place between 11 and 11:30. And they asked what was he wearing, and she said jeans, a blue or green pullover shirt, a brown leather jacket. He wore Nikes, blue, I think, with either a dark blue or yellow stripe on them. He slept over. He left about noon the next day. I saw his gold Volkswagen. So on Monday night, January 19th, Randy tried to call Penny Hale, this time from a phone booth in Tigard, Oregon, just south of Portland. Penny didn't want to talk to him. She told the cops that she'd received one of his cards later in the week, kind of breaking her balls for playing hard to get. But saying that, I'll always give you another chance to get close to me, shit like that.
All right.
Calls to Salem on February 15th had been made to a home where an 18-year-old girl lived. So the cops were interested in talking to her. Her home was only 3 blocks from the Transamerica title office where the crime happened. So they said the proximity of her home to the shootings was just a coincidence, though. The girl never even met Randy Woodfield until February 13th. Yeah, she told the cops that about meeting the man named Randall on the I-5 freeway. This is the girl he followed. That one, they stopped at the burger place. She said she'd given him her phone number after he'd persuaded her to pull over north of Vancouver, and she said he said he planned to be in the Portland area over Valentine's Day, and he rented a room at the Marriott. That's where he had the party, the party that no one showed up at. He called my house really drunk at about 2:30 or 3 in the morning on the 15th, and my stepfather talked to him. Jesus Christ. Drunk guys calling at 3 o'clock in the morning. Then he called the next day. He never said anything sexy to me, but when he wanted me to come to his suite in the hotel, I thought he had something like that on his mind. He was very polite and he was very macho. Those are two things that normally don't go together, but okay.
They can.
They can, I guess.
Yeah,
kind of old timey, whatever.
Sure.
I never saw him in person except for that one time on the freeway. So she's not connected to this at all. They know. So they're figuring out that Randy had to be in Beaverton on the Valentine's Day weekend, and so they were saying that, this is for the Julie Reitz murder. They're like, he was around there on that night too. Then phone records showed another sequence of calls beginning on January 29th as Randy headed south towards San Francisco. The detectives wanted to prove that it was Randy who made the calls, trailing up and down the coast between the 29th and the 4th. So that's what they're doing. They had to locate all the women he called, as he had called a shitload, obviously. Right. So he called Lynette Lacey on the way south and told her that he was leaving for Northern California and suggested he stop by her house and sleep over on the way down. Yeah. She said, "That's okay.
I'm good.
I'm all right." The next time she heard from him was on February 4th at 11 p.m. She said, quote, "He said that it was foggy out. It was so foggy and that he was tired and he'd missed the off-ramp and had gone to Gold Hill. He just wanted to come over and have a drink. I wouldn't let him. And he promised he would only sleep on the couch and not bother me. He just wanted to get some shut-eye. I still wouldn't let him come over. He said he'd been driving a long time, coming back from his sister's house. I can't remember where he said his sister lived. He said a couple of things that were a little bit screwy, that just didn't make any sense. He said okay when I wouldn't let him sleep there. He talked for about 15 minutes. Then I got a letter from him a couple days after that saying he was sorry for bothering me and that he wanted me to come up to Eugene." Jesus. So they talked to Denise Lenore, as a young woman who Randy had met on December 26th, the same night he met Lynette Lacey, the last one. Right. So didn't go well with Lynette Lacey on the 29th, but Denise liked him. So this one, Denise Lenore. She said it was a couple weeks after I met him on the day after Christmas. I got a phone call one afternoon when I was homesick from work. That would have been around January 20th. And he mentioned he was planning a trip and asked if he could stop by. I said, sure, but just let me know. He said it would be within the next week or so, and sure enough, it was. I got a call. There he is. I got a call at home late on the night of the 28th, and he was at the exit, the Ashland exit from the I-5, and he wanted to know if he could come over for coffee and wanted directions.
Already there.
Yeah, so he told her that he was going to San Francisco to meet his friend Ralph, and he intended to visit his sister in Mount Shasta, and he seemed concerned about the snow on the mountain passes. Right. He called his sister from Denise's phone to find out about the weather and charged those to his home phone, so they know he was there. That's why they're talking to him. So Denise told the cops that she started to wonder a little about Randy's past. He told her he'd been in Portland to go to bartending school, but she knew that such a school didn't involve much time. It's bartending school. It's not, you're not going to MIT.
2 weeks, yeah.
You go during the day, they teach you some drinks, they do a test, There's your certificate, enjoy.
Get the fuck out of here.
What are we talking about here? Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Surfshark.
Oh, surfshark.com. A lot of people don't know about this stuff.
You need a VPN. This is the thing.
Yeah.
It's for a lot of reasons, too. For security, let's say you want to watch a TV show from England. Well, it won't let you unless you have a VPN that says you can do that. So
this isn't available in your country.
It's not available. You ever get that? You want to get rid of that message? You get Surfshark, and that's how you get rid of that message and do this sort of thing here. It's really cool. Number one, too, public Wi-Fi. People hook up to public Wi-Fis. You are opening yourself up to a whole host of potential problems when you do that.
Absolutely.
The security is not great, and otherwise, VPN-wise, Surfshark, they got you covered. And another thing is like something like our shows where I'm researching stuff, I'm going to weird websites. There's some suspicious websites I need to go to get information. I don't know if these are legit. I need Surfshark to protect me. You know what I mean? And you can find all of their other products too. They have a great antivirus that you want to check out. Really, really good. It's excellent. And it's a risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee. Secure your privacy with Surfshark. You can do it. I'm telling you. Go to surfshark.com/crimeinsports or use code crimeinsports at checkout to get 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN.
And now back to the show.
She said he left a big blank spot, in his past. Like he wouldn't mention what he had done before that. He was very hesitant to talk about what he had done before that. So that's interesting. But she said that Randy asked Denise if he could sleep on her couch. She felt sorry for him and told him he could. Then he suggested, well, why don't we just sleep together? Keep warm.
So much easier. One bed to make.
We can turn the heat down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't have to waste so much. He made the comment that there would not necessarily have to be any sex. He said, don't you want a nice, warm, cuddly body once in a while? I told him that I did sometimes, but not with him. Yeah. Somebody that I'm in a relationship with, maybe.
Or interested in it all.
Yeah. Cuddling like that is almost more intimate than sex. You know what I mean? You're not.
Sometimes, yeah.
It can be. You know what I mean? Like, especially like if you're actually going to sleep. I don't know. It just seems like that comes later.
Yeah,
good cuddles, good shit. I told him if he wanted to sleep on the couch, he could, but that was all. So she said she didn't want to sleep with him, she said he then insinuated that she was either frigid or afraid. Or that something must be wrong with her. What's the matter? You pussy broken? What's going on?
What the hell's wrong with you?
What do you got? Fucking doesn't work? Your flaps closed? What do you got? Nothing?
Got something wrong with you.
Something wrong with you. He told her about several young girls who were anxious to party with him and said that all the girls in his neighborhood thought he was really neat.
So what's the matter with you?
So what's your fucking problem? Everybody else wants to plow me. Then he acted as though it was just a joke, but he still hinted that if she couldn't get to sleep, he could come upstairs and bother her.
I was just kidding. Joke,
but I will fuck
unless you like it.
Yeah, unless you do want to fuck me. He didn't bother her during the night at all, but the next morning he said, well, I didn't bother you, did I?
I told you.
Yeah, she said he was very calm about it. He made insinuating remarks, but it was always a joke. He gave handfuls of candy to my kids. He had foil-wrapped chocolate candies in his pocket. Well, like kisses?
Yeah.
Or just homemade chocolate wrapped in kitchen tinfoil that he had in there. So
don't eat that.
I wouldn't eat that. Yeah, that's the shit your parents make you throw out on Halloween. Yeah. You're not eating that. Jesus, that's not a package. So Denise walked Randy to his car, and she saw a teddy bear in the back of the gold Volkswagen, and he told her it was a present for a friend. And then Randy asked about a motel on the I-5, the Knights Inn in Ashland. She said that this was the motel, which is interesting because that's a hotel that's robbed 5 days later by a man with a silver gun and tape on his nose.
He's very aware of that hotel.
So the cops are like, he asked you about that one, huh?
Yeah.
Then she said he sent me a postcard later. It said something to the effect that he'd tried to get close to me and I wouldn't allow it and I didn't want romance or something like that. And I knew where he was if I changed my mind. If you want this dick, you know where the holster I keep it. And
you know where to find it, yeah.
Yep, you know exactly the sheath in which it lies. So
he is really, does he just have no game and that's why he rapes?
He definitely has no game.
Right.
But he doesn't even like.
He doesn't like women.
No, he doesn't like women. But you would think, okay, being a predator and like a guy like that, you learn to make adjustments in the things you have to do. So you would think that, okay, when I approach women like this, it doesn't work.
Right.
I should switch
try a
tactics.
Different approach. Yeah.
You would think a guy like that would figure that out, but he doesn't. Regular people figure that out.
He just gets more aggressive.
Absolutely. So back in Eugene, all the detectives interviewed Randy again the day after the search warrant was executed, and now he didn't want to say shit. Wouldn't say anything. They were even asking him just, hey, I heard you're a really good football player and stuff. He wouldn't even talk about football with them. So they're like, shit, We can't get a word out of this guy.
Yeah, what? Huh.
March 6, 1981, Shelley update. We got to keep dropping Shelley updates in here. Yeah, she got to Eugene on March 6th. Her U-Haul trailer full of everything she fucking owns.
God.
Ready to live with Randy.
Broken lease and all.
That's took broken lease, school records dangling in the wind. She doesn't give a shit. But now she can't find Randy.
Yeah.
She couldn't. The phone just rang.
Yeah.
So finally, through some friends she learned that he'd been arrested.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit. So she wanted to find out how that could have possibly happened. So she called the Springfield Police Department and was put through to one of the detectives working the case. So she ends up meeting with Detective Loper and Holloway. Monty Holloway is his name. So I just combined them, made him Montaway. And consented to a taped interview about her relationship with Randy.
Oh, fuck.
This isn't good. I mean, she thinks she's helping him, though. She's like, I'll get him out of this. Don't worry. They said she's a beautiful, slender girl with long, dark hair. They said they were just like, the detectives were like, this girl's hot and smart and like.
No reason to be snowed by this guy.
Not only that, why is he doing anything with anybody else? Why is he calling just stick with this chick? Like, she's out of your league. She's younger than you. What's wrong with you, dude?
Yeah.
They were like amazed by it. They were like, anybody'd be lucky to be engaged to this chick. And this guy's.
He's just annoyed by her.
Yeah, he's like, Christ, Shelley's coming too. So they said she came across as completely naive. They said they felt bad having to explain what's going on to her because she's so naive.
Jesus, yeah.
So yeah, she's never been in trouble with the law or anything, and she's real open with the detectives. Yeah. She said that was like a storybook romance. That's all it was.
Yeah.
She told the truth because from her end, she's seen nothing but good. Mm-hmm. She said that she told the truth. She thought the truth would help Randy because he didn't do this. So she told the two detectives about the weekend she'd spent with him in San Francisco on January 31st through February 1st. She'd left him to fly back to New Mexico, and Randall left to drive back to Eugene. She was worried because she hadn't been able to reach him until Thursday morning, February 5th. She was scared he was in an accident. Mm-hmm. Well, she's hanging him right now.
Yeah, she's ruining everything for him. He has no.
When she finally got a hold of him, he was okay, but he told her about a speeding ticket, about having to buy a new battery and tires. So he was just out on the road and got caught up.
This car's just driving me nuts. It's nickel and diming me.
Fucking killing me. Tickets, batteries, tires.
Yeah.
She thought he'd spend the extra time at his sister's house in Mount Shasta. He'd seemed a little tired on the phone, but he'd been, he said, no, I miss you and I want to talk to you and all that. She said he told me that the trip back had been very expensive for him. That's the truth.
Idea.
No
it's
clue.
To cost him his freedom.
Wow. Shelley turned over a packet of Randall's letters to her. She was sure they would show what kind of great guy Randy was, and he'd be ready to come home. She said that the last 2 months she's been trying to find a job, trying to get back into college. She said there's no way he's guilty. I don't believe it, and I'll never believe it. So you're out of your fucking mind. Okay. Here comes Jack Woodfield, Randy's dad.
Yeah.
Let's get Jack in the mix here. He came to Spring. This fucking guy. Imagine your son is in this situation. You're like, Jesus Christ, we got to deal with this now.
What have you done?
For fuck's sake. He came to the jail to see Randy, and he was just, not in good shape about this. This is crazy. Jack and Randy met in the presence of the detective, though, of Kamenick.
Yeah.
Randy was explaining his latest, trouble to his dad. Yeah. He said that he had been out with a girl the night she was killed in Beaverton, and that the Beaverton police had questioned him about her death. He told his father that the girl had been to a Valentine's Day party that night, and that he'd seen her after that. Okay. So this is the first time he never admitted that he was with Julie Reitz the night she died. He never admitted that. This is the first time he said that.
There's a person in his life that died, right?
Yep. He just fucked up and told his dad in front of the detective exactly what the detective wanted to hear.
Yeah.
By the way, none of the detectives had ever told Randy that Julie had been to a Valentine's Day party that night either.
Oh, shit.
So he just completely fucking blew it, basically. Yeah. He talked to his dad about being innocent, and, he said that, oh, man, meanwhile, he just fucked himself hard, but he's still saying how innocent he is. First, he denied the wild thing is at first he denied he ever even knew Julie Reitz. Then he admitted to dating her one time. Then he admitted to having sex with her. Now he's telling his father that he'd been with Julie only hours before the murder. So
yeah, he's the last person to see her alive.
Yeah, it's not good for Randy here. But he continued to maintain his innocence, but he was getting real tense and everything like that. He figured that these women could help him, that he's been communicating with. They can lie for him. They can skew dates a little bit, like on a resume, like on a job application.
Just forget some things, leave a job gap.
That's 6 months there. We'll fill that in with an extra 3 months here. And then I started 3 months earlier there. That's fine. So one of Randy's Eugene girlfriends had gone to a detective and told him that Randy had confided to her that the police were following him because they thought he had killed a girl in Portland on Valentine's Day weekend. She said, quote, he asked if he could count on me for an alibi. I told him that I wouldn't lie for him and asked him why, if he was innocent. He just didn't cooperate and tell the truth.
Right.
He said he couldn't really do that because of the way he'd been spending his time. He dropped the conversation when I made it clear I wouldn't lie for him.
Well, I'm not going to help. He's like, well, then fine. Fuck you.
Fuck it. I got several other phone calls to make.
Yeah.
So it's not going well here. There's all sorts of mug shots that Kamenick had sent to every agency involved, and he got several hits from it also.
Sure.
So Randy is getting he is hemming himself
up. A lot
up
of trouble. Yeah.
Good at this point here.
Yeah.
So March of 81 here, the press gets involved, obviously, because this is going to be a big giant story here. So they talked to Larry Sellers, Portland State University sports information director.
Yeah.
And saying, yes, Randy did play here and all that, because they the police, they don't know anything here. His father, talks to the press and says, I'm pretty well shook up right now, and then wouldn't comment any further. His old landlord in Portland said he seemed to work odd hours. As far as I can tell, he was an average good person. All right. Interesting. So here's a good one here. Now they got it. They got him in there. They have a still alive Beth Wilmot, who saw him very clearly, and they're going to try to sit her down and sit other people down and see if they can get some positive IDs on some lineups here. So they have a lineup, and they stand there. The lineup was moved across the stage here. In these, it's all a very small room, by the way. Really? Randall was number 5 in this lineup. So all men are asked to face front, turn left, turn right, then turn so their backs can be seen as well. He asked each man to repeat certain phrases. Do what I say and you won't get hurt. Where is the back room? Count to 100 before you move. Don't call the police. Lay down on the floor. Look at the floor. Put the money in the bag. Does this feel good? And aren't I big?
Oh my God.
Oh my fucking God.
He's so proud of it.
His penis, if he could just put it, he sent his shit into Playgirl. I was going to say, if he could put his penis on the cover of Penis Magazine, he would, but he kind of did.
He's doing it, yeah.
He tried. So Beth Wilmot is in there, and she's looking, and she, trying to figure it out. The thing is, they had shown her the lineup, a photo lineup, and she couldn't pick them out.
Really?
Of the photo lineup. No. So that's when they brought her in here. So they're looking at Beth as Beth is looking at these people here. The cops are looking. They said that she was concentrating, scanning them. They're expecting her to come out with it at some point here. So when the lineup was completed, they took the victims out one at a time into an interview room where they questioned them. All the interviews were taped. They were asked to mark a card with 6 numbers on it, then sign it. So they began the questioning with the victims from Burger Express in Reading, the owner, her husband, the teenage employee who'd been sodomized and raped in the restroom. The owner picked Randy because of his voice, his eyebrows, and facial structure. Her husband picked Randy as well, but wasn't really sure. She said he looks the most like him. Okay. Now, the sodomizee over here, she could not, this poor victim couldn't make a choice. She said that all she could remember is the gun, and she was told repeatedly not to look at his face, so she was trying not to. Jesse Clovis comes in. She had somebody had jumped into her car on Main Street in Wairika and ordered her not to look at him, but she recognized number 5, who is Randy, from his voice, his eyes, and his build. She said she looked at him hard as he walked away after leaving her in Wairika. She said the voice stood out the most. It just clicked in my head.
Yeah.
So now the 3 women from Corvallis, 2 from the restaurant, 1 from the fabric store, each of them circle number 5 as well.
Okay.
Everybody, Rick Burnett, Neil Loper, and Ron Womack, the cops, kept hearing everyone say his eyes, and I just got a feeling in my stomach when I saw him, and I remember that voice. That's what everybody says. One of the youngest witnesses here, Mary Sue Green and her sister, the little girls, remember who he said, I'm going to come in and use the phone, and sexually assaulted these poor little girls in their house. Mom wasn't home. She was at the gym.
Right.
Randy came in, said, I want to use the phone.
Yeah.
And they kept telling him to leave, and he was like, no, I'll just sit down with you. Those girls.
Why don't we go in the bathroom? Those girls.
Yeah, those girls. 8-year-old Megan told the cops that she couldn't recognize the man who attacked her, but the 10-year-old Mary Sue said number 5. They said, why did you circle number 5? And she says, because when, okay. She's 10. Yeah. Heartbreaking. At my house, when he came in, he sounded exactly like him, and he looked like him too, because his hair wasn't the same, but his face looked the same. Because I know that he could get his hair cut, and his hair changed and stuff. Smart kid.
Okay, yeah.
They said, was he the man? And she says, he sounds a whole bunch like him.
Whole bunch.
This poor kid. Jesus Christ. It shows you how young she is, you know?
Yeah.
They said, well, what about the rest of them, the other 5? And she said, they didn't sound much like him at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
He said, so you could, by looking at them and listening to them, you could eliminate those guys? And she said, because some sounded like kind of high-pitched and some sounded low-pitched, and they just weren't it. He was just kind of a medium.
Okay.
Just kind of a medium.
Not baritone? What is that? Just a...
Alto?
I don't know. Just a nice,
medium?
calm, soothing...
Baritone is low.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice, calm, soothing... order me to do horrible things. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. They said, besides his voice, do you feel that he looked like the man, a lot like the man that was in your house? She said, well, his hair didn't look the same. It looks the same color, but it didn't look, well, it looked changed. His hair wasn't the way he had, and he had a mustache before. He had sideburns, but he doesn't now. He seemed like the same. His facial bones and stuff looked the same to what I can remember. They said, so you're picking number 5? And she said, yes, that's him. Which, that's a smart kid.
That's damning, too, when a kid does that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Put her on the stand and have her go, it's him, and he did this, and this to me. You are in deep shit, my friend. So the employees from the Dairy Queen traveled down from Bellevue. They're there. The male employees picked the wrong guy.
Really?
But the girl who'd had to been forced to give him oral sex after the employees were locked in the males were locked in the freezer, she recognized Randy. She spent a lot more time with him, too. She said that it was his eyes and his voice. She said the same tone value, not too many ups and downs, not a real monotone, but not much inflection.
Right.
She said it was a feeling I had when I talked to him. Interesting. Another victim who'd been sodomized in the Albany laundromat. When she saw Randy, she circled number 5 and she said, it sure made my heart race when I saw him. I remember his eyes and his nose and his voice. So Randy should have put contacts in and used a high voice if he wanted to get away with this, because this is what fucked him good. See, like I couldn't run around being a rapist. They'd pull recognize my voice in a second. I'd be screwed.
As much
You'd be giggling half the time.
Yeah.
They'd be like, that's his giggle. I know it.
Yeah.
That's
if I didn't laugh, I might get away with it.
Yeah, that's.
There's a million of me out there. I dare you to get a lineup going.
I was going to say, if there's a lineup going, you'll get pulled in by mistake. Be like, that's him. I swear to God. Bald head, beard, glasses, that's the guy. Tattoos, it's the one.
Might be fucked, yeah.
You want to stay away from that shit. Try to look less like people, right? For your own safety. Oh, man. So, yeah, she said that. It's his eyes, but not all the victims helped. The girl who'd been shot in the restaurant in Oregon wasn't sure about the lineup. She said she didn't know if any of them were the gunmen, and then she picked number 2, which was not Randy.
Not
He's
him
number
at
5.
all. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
The desk clerk from the Knights Inn Motel, remember that's the one he asked the girl about that when robbed. She said, number 5, that's the one. The majority of the victims picked number 5. Some were sure, some weren't quite so sure. Then they bring Beth Wilmot in. And, she's the one who was shot at the Transamerica building while her friend was murdered. The Kamenick said, when it was Beth's turn, we walked out of the viewing area into the interview rooms. I handed Beth the little card and asked her to circle the number that matched the man who shot her. If he was there, and then sign it. So she circled it and gave it to me. I looked down, and there it was, number 5. So pretty damning. They said that this was the most important victim as far as this all went. This was the living victim whom he'd left for dead, and she can also connect him to a murder right there, not just a rape, robbery, a murder. So they said, tell us why you picked number 5, Beth. She said, okay. She said, the reason is that he's tall and the way he was built. I checked his whole body out. His face, just the way his face was, and I could picture him in a hood and just everything about him. I chose him. That's the why I chose him. His eyes, everything. And he said, that's the man. She said, that's him.
There he is.
So they're like, all right, this is good. They feel like this is solid. The Beth's identification convinced them that he's definitely their guy.
Right.
So they discussed arresting him right then for murder, but they didn't want to risk the chance of a reversal on any kind of legal technicality. So they were like, okay, let's figure this out. One of the detectives went to his office to do the paperwork, working through the whole night and getting a district court warrant early in the morning, charging him with murder, attempted murder, 2 counts of sodomy, and the attacks of Sherry Hull and Beth Wilmot. We'll start there. We can make the rest later, but we think we got an eyewitness to this one. So
pretty good, yeah.
They said the warrant will be ready at 10:30 a.m. You can arrest him then. So at 10:44, they went to his cell and charged him with the 4 counts, placed him under arrest, and Woodfield looked at him, and Randy said, I knew it. I knew it last night that you guys were charging me.
Oh?
Okay, great. That's all he said, though.
What?
Yeah, I knew it.
He's not going to, okay, all right.
So March 9th, 1981, now it's real public. You know, now it's a big deal in the public. Every ex-grid star charged in one of the I-5 murders. And they show him in his Packer yearbook photo.
Oh, no.
That's what they show him in with his pads and his jersey on. Yeah, because now because that makes it way more interesting to the reading audience.
Yeah.
So it's
Riveting.
especially in Portland. So this is just the whole thing. Now he's really pissed off, as you can imagine, because now it's public here. By the way, right below that article, it just says he's the focal suspect in their investigation of the rest of the I-5 crimes, and right below that is this picture of a weed leaf.
What is that about? Yeah.
And it says
epidemic?
An epidemic that maims our children. Maims. Legs are popping off.
Oh, my God.
It says the first in a 10-part series titled Marijuana and Your Child says there's an epidemic loose upon America's children, one that maims rather than kills.
Really?
Calm down.
Taking off ears and shit.
Wow. Just chops pieces of you off.
Wow.
Sends them to your parents and shit.
Yeah.
It's weird. Real weed will get you
fireworks.
like that. Oh,
Yeah.
way worse than fireworks. Yeah. Fireworks don't send parts to your family. So they end up driving Randy back towards Salem, where he'd be placed in the Marion County Jail. They thought if they left right away, they could have Randy safely in jail before the press got word of his arrest on the murder charges, and they could get him in and not have to worry about reporters and photographers. So they didn't spot any reporters or photographers during their drive, but as they headed into the jail entrance here, the photographers popped out of everywhere, lined up 3 deep to see this guy. I mean, it's the biggest story in the Northwest.
It's a big perp walk,
So they asked him, do you want your leather coat so you can hide your face?
Yeah.
That's a nice fucking gesture from the cop. Well, most of the time they try to make it so you can see your face, but they were like, what do you want?
We want to shame the shit out of you.
No shit. Randy said, it's too late. They've all seen me now anyway. Let's just do it.
Let him have me. Yeah.
And he does. He just
Can you guys
struts
pull
out
my
there.
cock out of my zipper? Let him see that too.
It's really nice. You guys probably want to take a look at it if I'm being honest.
Great looking dick, you guys.
It's pretty good. You can ask any of those. Other people, girlfriends, not victims, girlfriends about it. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
So they keep it moving. While they're booking Randy into the jail, he turned to the detectives and said, "My only regret is that I didn't have a chance to shave or put on clean clothes before I had to face the news cameras." That's what he's upset about. He don't think
I want to shave. I need
didn't
to
think
take
he
a shave.
didn't think he represented himself in the most attractive fashion in front of the reporters. That's his main problem here. That's fucking wild. But he grinned and smiled for the cameras and everything else. Didn't give a shit. Wow, that's crazy. So there's all these photos from the news broadcasts of him broadly smiling, and you'll see it on our social media when we post this because we have the picture. He's just proud as a fucking peacock.
Couldn't be happier. Yeah.
Yep, that's like he just. You know how the teams are when they just get home and they get off the plane and everybody's waiting for him and they're like, "Yeah, that's how he looks."
Did it. Yeah.
That's how he looks. Just won the finals. Just sent LeBron home packing. Here we are. It's fucking wild. So they also have to do press conferences, basically, the police do, to give them, information about the whole case and things like that. They were asked, do you think there's a link between the Salem crimes and the I-5 killer? Mm-hmm. So the cop just said it really remains to be seen at trial whether or not there's a link between those various crimes. There's a number of similarities.
Yeah.
In other words, yes, but I can't really say that right now. Sure. They said, can residents along the freeway relax now? And they said, let's just say that anyone concerned about Sherry Hull's murder and the shooting of Beth Wilmot can rest more easily. In other words, you're not going to pin me into it by, you tried to go to the back door and say, did he do it all? They said, events last night convinced me to go to the grand jury. I can't elaborate. I simply made the decision we had a strong enough case to press charges here. Mm-hmm. So a month earlier, Monty Holloway, one of the detectives, told the press that the I-5 killer was probably one of those individuals who, when caught, all his neighbors will say, I can't believe it. He's such a nice guy. Which is exactly what his old landlord said. And in Eugene, here's Shelly Jansen. Shelly update.
Yeah.
She's sitting in her dad's house reading this shit in the newspaper with a fucking U-Haul full of her shit outside. This is horrifying. She just left a week ago. This is crazy. Life has changed. Real weird. She couldn't figure it out. She said he's charged with murder. She's like, what the fuck? There's no way. This has to be a mistake. Yeah. So Randy's locked up in jail, and now they have tons of crimes and tons of victims that they can now try to connect him to because they don't have to worry about finding him. So Shasta County detective contacted Randy's sister in Mount Shasta to see if Randy had actually stopped to visit her and her family on his trip to Northern California. She said that he had been there twice. On the way down, he'd stopped on January 30th for lunch. He'd been wearing a blue plaid shirt that she'd given him for Christmas and blue jeans. He'd called to get Shelley's flight number and then continued south. He'd come back before 11 p.m. on Tuesday, February 3rd. They sat up talking about his relationship with Shelley, even though he told his sister that he and Shelley were not engaged yet. Now Shelley, they actually were engaged, so that's weird that he wouldn't tell his sister that. He also talked about jobs he might get in Eugene, working at a golf course. Golf course in Oregon seems like it'd be closed a lot due to rain. Yeah.
Maybe if you got it.
Possibly.
I might get it, yeah.
I might get it. Might be working in the caddy shack. You never know. His sister said she'd been a little concerned about Randy's unemployed state, but that he'd seemed confident that he'll get a job. He'll figure it out. They said he hadn't seemed nervous or tired. They said, when did he leave your home after a second visit? She said, before noon the next day, February 4th. He stopped by my husband's office to say goodbye to him. Then they talked to Randy's brother-in-law, who's a doctor, and he said the same thing, blah, blah, blah. Yes, he did stop there. He stopped at his office to discuss his relationship with Shelley. This doctor said, the brother-in-law, he had difficulty understanding how Randy, if he was a guilty man, could have been so calm in his visits to his sister's home when the times and locations all met. Like if he was just killing someone or on his way to kill someone, how's he so cool and chill?
Sure.
Don't get it. Because there had been the rape and robbery at the Burger Express in Reading in the early evening of February 3rd, 10 miles north. An hour later, that's Janelle Jarvis and Donna Eckert are both murdered. So the Shasta County detectives estimated that the killer had cleared Mountain Gate before 9 p.m., and Randy Woodfield showed up to visit his sister in Mount Shasta, 60 miles north of Mountain Gate on the I-5 right before 11, which is the perfect amount of time.
Yes.
They said if Randy had committed the murders in Mountain Gate, they didn't really affect him very much. He just kept on going. And then the next day, he left Mount Shasta in the afternoon after a family visit, headed north. And that evening is when Jesse Clovis had been subjected to hours of sexual abuse in Wairika. We remember that one. That was the one in the car. That was horrifying.
Nice.
Horrifying. Man, that's only 35 miles up the freeway. So the times are perfect.
Yeah.
Randy's relatives all said that he wore a leather jacket when he visited them. The victims in Reading and Wairika had described a green windbreaker, and the windbreaker had been found during the search of the home that he was living in when they caught him.
Yeah.
Randy's sister and brother-in-law were a little shocked to learn that on March 5th, Randy had been arrested for a parole violation when a friend called from Eugene. They couldn't believe that he was being charged with murder. They said that he seemed the same as he always was when he'd written to them in the first week of March. He talked about setting up a chess by mail game with a mutual friend, about his new fiance who he loved. He sent a note for thanking them for putting him up. He called the next day to say Shelley was driving up, asking if she could stay with his sister and brother-in-law. They said sure, and Shelley had stopped there and all that kind of thing. So they just don't get it. Yeah. March 10th now. This has only been the last 10 days have been wild.
They're going fast.
Wow. March 10th, there's all these articles. Every time they move him, basically, it's like big news. Every time anything happens, this is the biggest story going at that time. They said they moved him down to here, and it's a whole big, huge article about it, talking about him. They said, wearing a mustache and a day's growth of beard, Woodfield looked undistressed as he ambled into the Marion County Courthouse, despite the handcuffs which bound his arms behind his back and the detectives by his side.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's not the best not the best situation to be in, probably. No. So, yeah, they said that the cops won't tell him anything, basically. That's the only news they got here. Is that the cops won't tell him shit, and they're upset about it. One, by the way, he was named at one point. Now they're just talking about his childhood a lot. And they said neighbors in Springfield knew little about him, but he spent many afternoons playing football and basketball with neighborhood children. In Newport, he was named Rotary Student of the Month on one occasion.
Oh, that's
most
great.
Athletic member of his high school class. One acquaintance said he was a beautiful kid, the star football player. So it's just the typical article of, oh, my God, you can't have that and blah, blah, blah. A reporter prefaced a question to the cops by saying, "You say you haven't found the murder weapon." And the cop said, "I didn't say that."
Oh.
So just,
you said that. Yeah,
you're the one saying that. Here is Dixie Palater now. Okay. Now, this was Dixie Palater's 22, and the detectives had gone to Milwaukee, Oregon to speak with her. She's the one person that everybody said was Randy's one platonic girlfriend. One. He's not trying to show her his dick for once. Okay. So now there were rumors that Dixie had accompanied Randy on at least one of his trips into Washington State, and that she had talked about helping Randy buy a gun. They found a receipt in Randy's wallet, if you remember, from the G.I. Joe store.
Right. Yeah. Can't believe it exists.
That's wild. The 32 was missing. The 38 was missing. And so was the little silver gun described by so many of his victims. But Dixie told the cops that she had agreed to purchase a gun for Randy. She said, but I changed my mind and I never picked it up. So it wasn't that one. So they wanted to talk in depth with Dixie, and they weren't convinced that she was telling the whole story here. So on March 10th, they have a grand jury subpoena for records pertaining to the purchase of a 32 caliber ammunition from G.I. Joe's, the store there, by Dixie Palater on December 19th. They found out that a purchase had taken place. Dixie's lying. Dixie continued to deny that she bought the ammunition. Other records verified that Dixie had also purchased a .22 caliber weapon on October 10th, but that she'd returned the gun and gotten her money back on December 10th. That's a pretty good policy. That's 60 days. Not bad. Not bad at all. On March 10th at 6:30 in the evening, the cops from Beaverton and one from Marion County contacted Dixie at her home. She's a Portland bus driver and told the detective she met Randy when he was a bartender, obviously, and they become good friends. She said, that's about it. We just continued being really good friends. They said this is the first woman they've talked to who knows Randy, who Randy didn't fuck or try to fuck.
Wow.
First one they've ever talked to. Every other single woman they talked to said, oh, yeah,
Everyone.
I mean, he tried to bang me, but either I did or I didn't. It's interesting. Randy had been living with Lucy Grant in Oswego, and Dixie was going steady with a man when they met. So she said, we got to be such close friends because he was splitting up with Lucy at the time, and I talked to him about my problems with my boyfriend.
Sure.
So they said, so you had something in common. She said, yeah, at first it was kind of like dates, except, nothing ever came of it. So then they said, Dixie, I don't think you've been telling us the truth. I think you know more about Randy's activities than you're admitting. We've gathered a lot more information since the last time we talked. They said she grew very nervous. And, Dixie said she wasn't good at remembering dates. She thought that a robbery involving Randy had taken place around Christmas 1980. Yeah. She mentioned that Randy had mentioned robbing the Baskin-Robbins ice cream parlor in Washington.
Wow.
He told her.
Yeah.
He said he went into Baskin-Robbins and made a girl get on the ground, and I can't remember his words. I just know that he said he made her get on the ground and told her to put the money in a bag and told her just to remain on the floor till he was gone.
Yeah.
She thought the robbery had occurred somewhere off the freeway near Seattle. They said, did he mention anything about disguises or anything?
Oh.
And she said, he mentioned a beard. Why was he telling her this?
It's platonic.
That's the weird part. Because he's not plowing her, he feels like he can trust her.
I guess. I don't know.
She's not like, it's so strange, man. What a weird thing. She said he mentioned a beard.
Yeah.
That's not good. And they said, anything else? And she said, this is what really did it. He set a Band-Aid over his nose.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Yeah, they said, did you say why he did that? And she said, well, I guess because that's so you can't be identified because the nose is supposed to give you away. Asked if she'd ever seen the beard, she said no. They said, listen, you're not a very good liar, okay? You're not good at this, are you?
Yeah.
You're a Portland bus driver. Give it up, lady. What the fuck are you doing? That's crazy. Some of Dixie's relatives had told the cops that Dixie might have been along on some of the robberies in Washington. He took a Bonnie with him, they think. That's crazy. But she continued to insist that she had not been with him. She had heard about him talk about the silver gun. However, quote, he wanted to take it down to his dad's. That's why he needed the bullets for practice shooting. Weird. Strange. She said another reason was that the guys that smashed up his car were giving him a bad time and they weren't going to pay for it. So he said he wanted to flash the gun on them if they were going to try to beat him up or something. He said that he would, it's smarts when you get hit.
Yeah, it's smarts. That's smart.
That's smarts. He said that he would just show them the gun, but he wasn't going to have bullets in it. They said, did he tell you about the 7-Eleven too?
Yeah.
She said, well, they showed it on TV with that guy that was holding up one of the stores and showed him on film from the hidden camera. I think he had a cap on. That kind of looked like him. I don't know. She said that she was the type of person that you could confide in. Well, apparently not. I would say not, as a matter of fact. But she didn't want to talk about any of the other crimes alleged to have been committed by Randy. Yeah. They said the cops knew that Dixie knows more than she's telling. She's given us a little tiny bit, not telling. She finally admitted that Randy had gone with her to buy a little silver gun and that Randy had chosen it. But she had returned the gun in December. She thought that perhaps he had used the gun when he'd gone to Washington. Later, she admitted that Randy had another gun she thought he obtained through a private party, but said she never saw it. They said, where did he get the gun? What private party? Tell me what happened. Damn it. She said, I don't know who it was. I swear to God, I don't. This is getting to be, I swear to God, I don't. They said, was it a dirty gun? Stolen? Clean? What? She says, I just think it was maybe a friend. I don't know. See, I wasn't too interested. I didn't really want to hear all this stuff. I wasn't wanting to hear about all, guns and stuff. And I'm scared to death of guns myself. You guys act like I'm telling the truth. Get that lie detector in here so I can. And they said, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Keep going. She said that she knew the second gun had been silver also, only because Randy had told her that it was.
Yeah.
She kept repeating that she thought the gun had come from a private party, but wouldn't say any more. The bullets she'd bought for him were in the gun, or were for that gun. So the detective sensed that Dixie's still holding back a little bit, and may have ridden with him on some of his robberies. That's honestly what they believe. Okay. But he doubted she'd been an active participant. He probably just said, wait in the car. He knows what he's doing. She's going to be a hindrance at that point. So they're like, okay. Dixie also got a bunch of gifts. He'd bought for her a phone, a sweater, given her $80 for Christmas. That's a very personal gift. There's $80. It's not bad for 1980. That's pretty good.
It's a weird number, though. Here's
420s. Yeah, it's a strange amount, but for 1980, that's pretty good dough. A couple $100 now. It's not bad. Yeah. And he often filled up the gas tank in her car. She said, he gave me those things just because I was a good friend. They said, where did he get all the money? She said, I thought most of it was from unemployment.
Yeah.
You have a lot of extra dough laying around.
Unemployment pays so well. Is that where the myth that it pays well came from?
People just think it pays well, but it really doesn't. He was making $90 a week or something. So he was getting quite a bit from unemployment. Not that much. Jesus.
No.
And then when he was working at the faucet and they said, did he tell you about ripping off the faucet?
Yeah.
And she said, yeah. What did he tell you?
Yeah.
She said, he told me that he had done it. That he did do it, but
just
that's
admitted,
it.
Yeah.
But they tried to get more details, but she kept being evasive. She wouldn't give him any more. She just said that he'd done it. That's it. Yeah. They said, all right, let's talk about Valentine's Day weekend. This is into the Julie Reitz murder case here. And they need to know Randy's movements on that day because they're vital to the timeline. So Dixie seemed a little bit relaxed when they stopped talking about guns that she'd purchased that, ended up being murder weapons. You get a little uptight when that's going on. She said he called me up and came over and we went shopping and went out to lunch at about 11 in the morning on Valentine's Day down in Milwaukee to the Blade men's clothing store. And we picked out a sweater and a pair of pants for that night because he was hosting a party at the Marriott for whomever wanted to come.
Yeah.
He bought a special outfit for it, dude.
Oh, my God.
And
this was romantic to him.
Dude, nobody showed up. He said, I'm having a party. I'm gonna put on my best. I got a new sweater. And nobody showed up. He sat there in a brand new outfit with not a fucking soul to show it to.
Just like rolling whiskey over ice in a glass with nobody there.
Sitting there looking around. Balloon strings dangling about head length, head height as he sits in a chair going, I wasted my fucking time on this one, huh?
Wow.
I guess we don't need all this champagne. Holy shit. So she said Randy had changed into his new clothes at her house and left about 6 p.m. to go to the Marriott, but when Dixie called his room at 7, he wasn't there. He called her later and asked her when she'd be coming down, but Dixie said she felt ill and she never went. So Dixie didn't even go to his fucking party.
Yeah.
Randy kept calling her until about midnight, and then she didn't hear from him again until 9 the next morning.
Yeah.
She said he was going in the jacuzzi and then he had to check out by 3, and then he was going home. 3 o'clock checkout. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I want 3 o'clock checkout. Jesus. That's great. Dixie and her boyfriend joined Randy that afternoon for racquetball, and she'd found that he was just being normal. He mentioned to her that he didn't need his gun any longer and that he'd thrown it in a river. Because that's what you do when you don't need a gun anymore.
Yeah.
You don't sell it or point it in you just throw it in the river. That's where that goes. Right? It's normal.
That's where they go. It's a good point.
That's where they go. So there's actually there's a sign up that says guns with an arrow to it, and that's where you stand and throw.
Put them right here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that way they'll land in a deep part. Yeah, it's good for that. So they said he had contacted you recently and asked you to provide him with an alibi. And she said she was silent for a few moments and then said, well, he called me the day before the police came to his house. He said he needed my help because they were suspecting him in that Beaverton girl's murder. And I told him, no, I can't help you about that.
Yeah.
I was really shocked, and I go, what? They're suspecting you of murder? I mean, I know that you go in with guns and rob people, but to shoot them, actually. And he said it was no big deal, that he just needed my help. Just as soon as I got off the phone, I told my sister that if he called to say I was away with one of my girlfriends somewhere. And she's ditching him now. They said, did he ever tell you that he knew Julie Reitz? She said, no. They said, did you know Julie Reitz? She said, no. Dixie said that she had known about Darcy Fix's murder. That's the friend's ex-fiance. And about Sherry Ayer's murder, too, through information from Randy, but only that they had been killed, and that's it. Mm-hmm. So they start asking her about his sexual preferences. Mm-hmm. And she starts to get kind of red-faced, a little embarrassed. It's not 2025, 1980, so she might be a little shy with that kind of shit here.
Yeah.
Finally, she said that Randy seemed to be fixated on fellatio rather than intercourse.
Hell yeah.
Randy likes his dick sucked. They said, you've indicated that Randy did like girls. Did he ever tell you how many girlfriends he had? She said he just dated. He had a lot of girlfriends he dated, different ones. He said, if you were to draw an opinion of Randall, how would you say his opinion toward women is?
Yeah.
She said, well, I'd say he likes women a lot. He's crazy about them. He's just always talking nice about them. Whenever he's gone out with a girl, he's always saying nice things about her. They said, okay, do you feel that he feels he's been wronged by women? Good question. She said he could have, yeah. He might have felt rejected a few times by some. And they said, okay, do you think that Randall liked girls? So you think that Randall liked girls, but you had a feeling that he thought he'd been wronged by girls and he'd felt rejection. And she said, I mean, maybe by a couple. That describes every man on earth, though.
Of course. Who hasn't been rejected?
Who hasn't been rejected or wronged by someone of the sex that they date? Yeah. That's ridiculous. Yeah. There's not a man or woman alive that wouldn't say that happened to them. If there is, you lucky son of a bitch.
You are so hot. Good for you.
You're so hot. You've done all the dumping.
Yeah.
So she said, maybe a couple. Well, he used to tell me that he couldn't understand why girls stood him up. And I used to tell him I couldn't see why either because he was a good-looking guy. And he goes, you even stand me up.
Yeah.
But he said that didn't matter because we were just friends, and we kind of laughed about it, which is just fun. They said, did he ever describe to you what he meant by the word stand up? Did he explain that to you? Mm-hmm. I think we all know what that means. She said, no, he just said they'd stood him up. He said that he didn't know why. He said he was nice to them. He didn't know why they'd stand him up. Okay. They said, did he indicate how many times this happened? She said, quite a few. He says, girls always stand him up. Yeah. Wow. They said, did you feel he had any hatred toward women? This is the same question from before asked now. She said, no, he didn't ever seem like he had hatred for them. Every time we went out together, he was always asking a lot of girls to dance, and he always seemed happy around them. Always had a lot to talk about, to talk to them about. Was always nice to them. Mm-hmm. So they, the one cop gets up from the room and goes and calls the district attorney and says, she's not telling us everything. She's holding back. And the DA said, arrest her for hindering prosecution. Fuck it.
Yeah.
You see if that talks. I'll file a material witness complaint against her. So at that point, they can hold her as a material witness until she decides to talk, which is wild. So they came back in the room, read her Miranda rights, and she was like, what the fuck? Put the cuffs on her. Yeah. All of a sudden, she gets flashes and floods of memories coming back to her. As soon as the metal touches her wrist, it unleashes, I don't know if it's the...
I'm allergic.
The reaction to the metal, whatever it is. Maybe it was a little shock, it was a spark from the metal. She's rubbing her foot on the carpet, and then it just sprung her brain into memory mode, but that's what fucking happened.
She needed the bridge between the arms. It was a short circuit. Now it's connected.
Now it's all... Now we got a whole circuit going here, right from the floor right up through her head. So suddenly she remembered that she had indeed seen Randy Woodfield with a silver .32 caliber gun in his possession. Yeah, he actually did. She said, but I only saw it once. He had it in the car right after I bought him the bullets, and he was trying to put the bullets in the gun.
Yeah.
However, a little bit later, she admitted, okay, that wasn't the only time I saw the gun.
No?
She'd also seen it, Randy cleaning the gun sometime before Christmas 1980.
Okay. Cleaning it.
Cleaning it, which is just a few months ago.
Not while doing his face. Yeah, not while doing his face regimen.
He'd wipe at the gun and then, then his face a little and then go back to the gun. Use it all the same. They said, you still say you never went to Seattle with Randy. And she shook her head and said, he asked me to go with him to see Tim so that he could confront Tim because Darcy got murdered. That was the week before Christmas. He also said he was going to rob some stores because he needed some Christmas money.
Yeah.
That's the way you do it. Just go tend some bar, bro. You have the most easily pliable skill that you can make immediate cash with. That's the easy. If you need quick cash, just go work a night in a bar. You know what I mean? They'll hire you if you know what you're doing. Who cares?
For sure.
You'll make a fucking $100. Go buy some Christmas presents. So he told me about the Baskin-Robbins deal when he got back. He said he wore a Band-Aid over his nose, a stocking cap, and a beard. He says he always went to where girls were working because they were easier.
Mm-hmm.
He said he switched jackets sometimes. Yeah, you don't get the guys are just as easy, but what you don't get with the girls is that chick who thinks she's a hero and she's going to try to fight him, with the gun. Yeah. Whereas if you did this with a bunch of guys, some guy is going to be dumb enough to be like, I saw this in a movie once. Yeah. I'm going to go after the gun.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. It's just an easier thing here. So he also said he switched jackets sometimes. Now Dixie's really giving him some good stuff, but she's still holding back, they feel like. So the DA makes a decision that Dixie will be granted immunity for any prosecution, whatever parts she might or might not have played in Randy's crimes. If she spills it. Dixie insisted that wouldn't be necessary because she's telling the truth. I'll take the immunity anyway.
Sure, yeah.
It's like saying, you want $20? Sure.
I'll take it.
I got some money in my pocket. I always use $20.
Whether or not I got something incriminating on me, who cares? We'll just take the.
I'd love to say I have immunity from this shit. That would feel great. I'd start telling them lies that I did crazy shit just to
immunity from anything is great. Fucking polio.
Fine. I raped one of the girls. I'd be saying. They'd be like, "But you're a woman." She'd be like, "That's right." Like, don't care. Don't matter. Immunity.
Sometimes I ejaculate like crazy.
It's wild. I can do it. I can squirt. I got this for distance.
I'll show you.
Show you. That's it, guys. Let's go. Turn the lights dim. I need the lights dim for this. This is
some plastic wrap in here.
I gotta concentrate. Dim lights, and I would definitely at least lay down some plastic shopping bags.
At least partially dexterize this room.
You're gonna need it. Yeah.
At least on the electronics.
Please, yeah. You guys see, you got a computer up there. With like an Apple II. You're gonna have to cover that up, I think. So, anyway, Dixie tells the cops that she started to wonder if Randy might not be the I-5 killer after she watched the news. She thought it was odd that all the places where the I-5 killer had struck were places where Randy had been.
Yeah.
And with the same MO and the same disguise and everything else.
Yeah.
She said, I even mentioned my worries to him once, but he told me not to jump to conclusions. He wouldn't talk about it. He told me before that I shouldn't tell anyone about the gun. He told me I should be quiet about anything he told me. Take this info and shut the fuck up.
Hide all of this info.
Yeah. Yep. Dixie was given a polygraph test, and she said she wanted to clear her name. Mm-hmm. So they administer the test, and here's the pertinent parts. Did Randy Woodfield tell you about killing anyone? Were you with Randy Woodfield when he committed robberies or murders? Did Randy Woodfield tell you where he threw the gun, or were you with him? Do you know the exact location where the gun was thrown or gotten rid of? Do you know where Randy purchased the silver gun? Have you ever been in the state of Washington with Randy Woodfield? How many times have you purchased gun ammunition for Randy Woodfield? Which she said once. They said deception, by the way, on that one. Mm-hmm. Did Randy Woodfield ever give you any money, which was the proceeds of a robbery or theft? Were you ever with Randy Woodfield when he committed any murders? So she'd been promised that nothing in the polygraph test results could be used against her in a court of law, obviously. but she was still evasive on a lot of things, a lot of inconclusive, a lot of deceptive. The .32 caliber would never be found.
Never?
It's somewhere at the bottom of some river, and we don't know, in Washington, Oregon, California.
By now. Yeah.
Who the fuck knows? So, I mean,
One-Eyed Willie's loot somewhere.
Yeah, we never know.
Yeah.
It was 60 years from now when all the rivers are dry or whatever. I don't know. It'll pop up. We'll find it eventually.
It's buried beneath a bunch of sediment. We don't know.
I'm sure it is. Yeah, I'm sure some fucking kid will dig it up.
Oh, for sure.
Shoot his little sister or
It's
something.
probably still loaded.
Yeah, it'll be a 100-year-old gun at that point. It'll still work. You just shoot like sand out of the end of it when it fires. It's ridiculous. So, they'd rather have the gun itself. That would be helpful. But the bullets taken from the head of Beth Wilmot, Shari Hull, Janelle Jarvis, Donna Eckert, and the bullet retrieved after the non-fatal shooting of the Sutherland, Oregon girl had all been fired from the same gun. Lands and grooves left by the gun's barrel were identical on the fatal bullets under a microscope. So that means they know they have him for shooting Beth because she witnessed it. So now if the same bullets or the same gun was used for all of them, he did them all. So that's how that goes.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, the bullets are the thing that are going to fuck him good. That's the thing that's going to get him good because the brand of .32, they're all Remington Peters long .32s.
Right, they're very rare.
They said it's rarely sold. Even the biggest ammunition stores, they sell maybe 1 or 2 boxes of these bullets a year, like giant stores.
A year?
A year. 1 or 2 a year. Nobody buys these fucking things, so they know exactly who buys them pretty much. The bullet that had killed Julie Reitz had been a .38, and they think it's probably fired from a Model 60 Smith & Wesson revolver. And the Shasta County detectives contacted a firefighter again, firefighter Steve Eckert again, to ask what kind of bullets he had used in the weapon, which had been stolen the night his family was killed. Remember that?
Right.
Yes. He said
that's how he got it. He stole it.
Yep. He said he loaded his own bullets. So he didn't buy them. He loaded his own. He made his own rounds. So
Makes
he
him
explained,
even more rare.
Yeah, he explained some of the examples of those bullets are, he brought them there to the detectives. Yeah. Here's some bullets that I made. They were full lead slugs, and one of them was of particular interest, jacketed with 3/4 of an inch of copper and had a blunt-nosed lead end, identical from the bullets taken from Julie Reitz's body.
Right.
So this idiot,
he stole a gun with reloads in it.
He stole a gun with custom bullets in it, literally custom.
Only one reloads. Yeah,
one person made them, and also the rarest bullet sold at a gun store. These are the two. These are the 2 bullets he's chosen to use. I mean, honestly, that's just dumb as fuck. So they ended up after Randy's been arrested and everything. The missing gun, the .38 stolen from Steve Eckert's home, was found. Yeah. The way it was found is fucking crazy, by the way.
Where was it?
They found this fucking gun. Yeah. A boy playing near the banks of the Mackenzie River, which divides Springfield from Eugene, glanced into the water and saw something shiny. Fished it out and said, "Oh, fuck, a gun." And brought it home, and parents called the Eugene Police Department.
Wow.
They came and picked it up. Stainless steel barrel, so it wasn't rusted at all. Serial number, real easy to read.
Yeah.
And the detective, who was not actively involved in the investigation, placed a call to California and said, "We've got a gun here that was probably stolen in a burglary in your state." Read off the serial numbers, and they said that gun wasn't taken in a burglary. It came from a double homicide.
Double homicide, yeah.
In Mountain Gate. It's a big deal.
Right.
So it had been thrown in the river only blocks from the house where Randy was living. He threw it away right by his house. He drives hundreds
all
of miles.
All the way up and down the I-5.
And guess what there's tons of in Northern California through Washington? Water.
Waterways.
Tons of it. Rivers, creeks, lakes, they're everywhere. This fucking idiot said, "That'll do." Just right in the shallow water and right by the shore, right by my house. Like a fucking idiot. Lazy. Oh, man. That's crazy. The gun was still operable. Lands and grooves matched perfectly to the bullets. So the bullets had been definitely fired from that gun, but it's only circumstantial evidence because no one had actually seen Randy throw it in the river.
Right.
So it connects everything, but you never saw it. So They keep doing it. They keep building this fucking case. Detective for the Beaverton Police Department had been given the assignment of talking with Randy's sister, who lived in Portland, and with whom he had lived on and off when he was between jobs. Nancy, that is. Nancy said that Randy had arrived at her home on Friday night, February 13th. He'd gone out that evening and returned very late. The next morning, he complained that he had a hangover. He left that afternoon to have lunch with someone named Dixie, she said.
Right.
And his sister hadn't seen him at all on Saturday night. That is Valentine's Day. That's his party, going out to lunch, going clothes shopping. Asked if there were any guns in her residence. She produced a .22 caliber handgun, which she'd found still in the holster where it had always been.
Yeah.
They also received a phone call from yet another one of Randy's female acquaintances, a woman named Drew Casey, who had met Randy a year and a half before, reported something odd had happened at her home in Beaverton during the early morning hours of Valentine's Day, 1981, when Randy was on the prowl. She said, I was in bed at about 2:45 in the morning. My boyfriend had just called me from Eastern Oregon and asked me to drive over and go skiing. I told him I couldn't, and I went back to bed after I'd set my alarm for 7. Jesus.
What?
She's taking phone calls in the middle of the night. She's got to get up at 7. Suddenly, I saw someone walk by my bedroom window. I got out my can of mace and went to the window. I saw a tall, dark man outside, just a quick glance. I didn't recognize him as Randy Woodfield at the time. The man tried my front door, and I dialed the police department and ran out the back door. The officers came, checked the house, but no one was inside. But she said someone had ripped my phone out of the wall inside the house.
Oh.
So they did come in after she left. And the screen was off my bedroom window. So he was setting it up.
Yeah.
For a later time, basically.
Yeah.
He's going to come back and get in through the window and fucking...
Wow.
She couldn't call the cops. So, yeah, that's interesting as fuck. So she said, we never did find out who the prowler was. Later, I found out that Randy Woodfield had been in Beaverton that weekend, and I wondered. Okay, so now it becomes public that the gun is linked to all these cases, and this becomes a huge story. I mean,
sure,
huge. Now it's a whole fucking other deal here. Now, by the way, Dixie's real name is Christy Sue Ree.
Why?
That's her real name.
Why Dixie? She's from the South.
No, that's just what Ann Rule decided to call her.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah. The victims, that's all their real names, except for the children, I believe. But the victims, that's all their real names. A lot of his friends who aren't involved, quote, in shit, they get aliases here. So her real name is Christy Sue Ree. That's her. So anyway, yeah, she was being held in lieu of $260,000 bail at the time, by the way, before they gave her immunity. So she's described, by the way, as an excellent driver.
Oh.
She's Rain Man got in there with her. She's an excellent driver. I'll tell you that much. She had joined the Tri-Met bus driving thing September 9th, 1979, and resigned October 3rd, 1979.
Oh.
You couldn't even learn to drive a bus well in less than a month, could you?
Well, I mean...
A bus, not well.
Not well. You could certainly hammer the gas and just start steering.
Yeah. I mean, to learn how to whip that thing in and out of shit, it'd take a while. That's fucking crazy. So anyway, they're looking for all this, and so he pleads not guilty. Obviously, he's going to. It's murder, attempted murder, robbery, sodomy, all that good stuff there. All those charges you don't want next to your name. I would say. So they said that they were upset that the news had broadcast a picture of a .32 caliber handgun and gave some viewers the impression that it was the murder weapon. The station did during this during a newscast about a woman being held in Salem on charges of hindering prosecution. That's his friend, the bus driver. They said that the cops said they were upset because, quote, they gave the impression it was the gun, and I think that's bad because I don't think it's true. So, but he said potential jurors might think it's true, and you might ruin the jury pool by saying, I saw a gun, now where's the gun, basically.
Yeah.
He said, this is the DA, my primary duty is to see this man gets a fair trial. With today's modern media, it's almost impossible to find someone who doesn't know about the case. That was 1981. Imagine now. Imagine now. It's impossible, he said. Meanwhile, all you had to do is not read a newspaper or, watch that half-hour news broadcast in the evening, and you wouldn't know shit about anything.
Apple will tell you so much information that you didn't want to know just in the morning with its alert about its whatever podcast that they have today.
Whatever fucking...
Whatever the top news of the day is.
The top news of the day. That's never the top news of the day,
never.
By the way.
It never matters.
It's always some horse shit.
Stupid.
Ever wonder where Ricky Schroeder went? No, I didn't at all. I don't care. Why are you telling me
Then you
this?
find out and you're like, ugh, why? No, go back.
Why'd you tell me about that? So, they said they were talking about, they said they have no reason to move the trial to a place that the case has received little publicity because it's a national story.
Yeah.
The one guy said, where do you change it to? Mars? That'd be the only place he's going to get a trial like that. So that's the truth. They said the woman, his Christy Ree, that's Dixie, said that she was charged with hiding the murder weapon there, I guess. So she lied a lot. She basically, there's a lot of details that now the public wants to know everything about this fucking case. So they said, she was still in jail, by the way, Christy. We'll just call her Dixie because I like it better.
Whatever. Yeah,
it's easier. They said that Dixie's friends talked to the press and explained that she wasn't the kind of girl who would go out and try to get into trouble, but she is rather naive.
Sure.
And her mother told the press that Dixie was not close to Randy, that he's been to the house a few times, but I think they're being a little harsh on her myself. She's never been in trouble. You can't help it if someone you meet commits a murder. Well, if you bought him the murder weapon and the murder ammo.
You could help some things.
And you knew that he was committing armed robberies already. There's a little bit of negligence on her part here.
Certainly.
I would say. So he finally, like I said, he pleads innocent. Obviously. Then they end up charging him with the Baskin-Robbins holdup after that. Mm-hmm. Then on April 1st, he pleads innocent to 7 felony charges in Benton County, Oregon. That's where Corvallis is. There were 2 counts of sodomy, 1 count of burglary stemming from the attack on Mary Sue and Megan. Those are the 2 small children, the 8 and the 10-year-old. Robbery and sexual abuse charges from the fabric store in Corvallis, and sodomy and kidnapping charges from the February 25th incident at the fast food restaurant in the same city. So, holy shit. Marion County is going to be the first to get a chance to prosecute Randy.
Yeah.
He's going to be in court a lot, basically, is what it looks like here. No matter what the verdict is anywhere, he's going to be tried all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to be like, well, he's in for murder, so we'll leave him alone now. It's not the way shit's working here. They reschedule his trial. I guess he was set for May 5th originally, but they're going to reset it apparently. Yeah. They said it will be very difficult for either side to get a postponement, but they granted a continuance anyway. They said that there's a lot of evidence. They said that the prosecution's given the defense nearly 1,000 pages of discovery. Mm-hmm. And they said this is the largest amount of material I've ever had to handle in a criminal case.
Oh.
Yeah. They said that even if it does nothing else in the practice, but work on the case, he still can't prepare it in less than 6 to 7 weeks. Even if I don't shit, I just do this. It's still going to take me a while. He said he's got pretrial motions. He's got all this type of shit here. They suggested an August 10th trial date because he has the following 2 weeks free in his trial calendar. But the defense said that August 10th was too far in advance. And then they said, how about June 29th? They ended up scheduling June 8th.
Mm-hmm.
And, all that. So June 8th is where it's going to be here. First, like I said, it was May 5th, and then they did it later.
It around, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the public has to wait now because they're dying for a trial. I mean, this is a big deal here.
Being edged.
Yeah, absolutely. So being edged hard. Pre-trial hearing begins on May 28th, and his lawyer alleges that Randy had been illegally arrested and that the March 8th lineup had been improper.
Okay.
He insisted that the parole violation charge had been a, quote, sheer hoax. I've never heard anyone use the word hoax that isn't lying.
Yeah.
Have you?
No, they're generally lying when they say that.
I think fucking Ed Gain said that. This is like it's everybody like that's what you say. It's a huge hoax. That makes it seem like it's okay. It's just worse. A giant. Yeah. It's just a giant trick everyone's playing. Yeah. There's tons of evidence. It's a hoax. Right. What are you talking about? And wow. And then he also talked about Randy's earlier attorneys advising him to appear in the lineup. He said, I would have never let him appear.
Right.
He said, I would suggest that 6 months for contempt is better than life for murder. In other words, don't do the lineup, get held in contempt, do the time, but walk away.
Sure.
Yeah, I would say. They said that the detective testified, Kamenick, that Woodfield's identification by victims of the I-5 killer was only one of 5 elements of direct evidence linking the shootings, him to the shootings at the Transamerica building. Okay. He cited pubic hair match, phone records, identification of Randy by a deputy as the man he'd seen near the shooting scene. Remember the cop was racing there and saw a guy standing there? Mm-hmm. And the bullet found in his residence as the other 4 elements of the crime, or the evidence. Yeah. They argued that the search of the home that he lived in had been legal and that Randy had been fully advised of his rights to remain silent under Miranda. Only one victim witness was called to testify in the pretrial hearing, and that's Beth Wilmot. She's going to be the...
Yeah, she's a star.
She's pissed off. She's been shot in the head, sexually assaulted, and had to watch her friend die and left for dead. So they said, is that the man in the courtroom? She rose from the witness chair and walked toward the table where he sat, stood in front of him, and screamed, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. Which I'm honestly shocked they let her walk over that close to him.
Yeah, you shouldn't be able to do that, right?
I mean, usually they'll...
she smuggled something in? We don't know.
That's what I mean. Usually a bailiffs will go, hey, but whoa, we're not going to have that, just because they don't want to have a scuffle in the courtroom. They got to do paperwork for that shit.
That yelled at Jeffrey Dahmer and told him she hated him? She was being drugged away as she was screaming.
She was being dragged. She didn't get shot in the head a couple times, though. Maybe they were like, we'll give her this one. You know what I mean? I mean, he killed her brother, but... They shot this broad in the head a couple of times. Yeah, she took a couple of bullets here. This is different.
Yeah.
So then she walked back to the witness chair. So she just did that. She clenched her fists and literally just screamed, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you.
Wow.
The judge asked the press to use discretion in reporting the scene that they had just observed.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be held back. No, the report. No. This is courtroom drama in its most fucking purest form here. So they were like, oh, man, the trial's going to... This is the pretrial? Nothing...
This is going to be unbelievable.
Pretrial is like nothing. You sleep through that shit. If we got I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, this trial's going to be fucking awesome.
Fucking actual fireworks in the room.
It is going to be the best. He's facing a life term, and Beth has to... When she gets up on the stand, she's going to have to repeat everything that happened in front of a whole courtroom, which nobody really wants to do that.
Yeah.
So they trace all of his travels,
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing now, putting phone records together. I have a picture of this that I will post on our social media of this thing they have of all these numbers with arrows and strings going to other shit.
Yeah,
it's
real
crazy.
Actually did it. Yeah.
It's a real Charlie Day crazy map. It's insane. It's so fucking crazy. So they said that they have that also they found cocaine and marijuana in his home. They were telling the press that just to make him dirty him up a little bit. They said, though, the phone records, quote, it was almost like a map when you put it all together. They said some were made within minutes of the Shasta County homicides, robbery in Ashland, and along the I-5 interstate. So now they're giving the press all these little nuggets now. Yeah. Police also tell the court that Woodfield's rights were protected because they're trying to get the lineup thrown out.
Oh?
Yeah. His lawyer maintains his client was illegally detained March 5th and held under a pretext arrest, a detainer charging him with a parole violation, but that was really just to hold him for the other thing. They're saying it wasn't, they weren't doing all that. So the search of his home was illegal, they say. He was not informed of his Miranda rights, even though we know he was, and he was denied his right to legal counsel. Police say absolutely not true. We offered to call his lawyer fucking for him. He gave us a number and we did. They said he continued talking after we had advised him of his Miranda rights, and he said he wanted to talk to an attorney later on that night, and they said they took the initiative to contact the attorney. He said he couldn't get a hold of him that night, but he eventually found him at a ski resort in Idaho, the attorney.
Oh, yeah.
So he said the attorney said he'd make sure someone came to Springfield to represent Woodfield, and 2 attorneys who testified said that they were at the March 8th lineup at the police department. So he was represented by not 1 but 2 attorneys there.
Right.
It's hard to say that he didn't have his rights were violated when he was standing with 2 attorneys. 2 pay lawyers, too.
Right.
These aren't fucking public defenders.
He's financing this, right?
Yeah, they said Woodfield never asked for a telephone. He was given a phone on the 5th and 6th and was told he could make some calls. And, he said he didn't know if he made any calls or not. They said they left the room and let him to his own devices, basically. They said, so that's how all of that is going here. He said he first denied having any knowledge of Julie Reitz at all, and then when shown a photograph, he said he knew her, and they go down the whole list here. They also talk about the phone records and said, you knew very well that certain statutory and constitutional rights would have to be met. You knew as long as you didn't arrest him, you wouldn't have to enforce those rights. Okay, and they said that the residue found in the paraphernalia had not been analyzed and shown to be illegal drugs. So
we don't even know that's,
You assume he's smoking weed out of a bong. Maybe that's how he smokes his tobacco, and you have no idea.
Maybe that's oregano. You don't know.
You have no idea that what he's doing out of that. Yeah. That could be his hookah. That's what he uses for hookah. And a little metal thing, that could be anything.
A bowl, yeah.
Little Coke straw. That could be anything. Maybe he likes really tiny drinks.
Maybe that's
short ones.
Yeah. He only drinks out of Barbie glasses.
That's
maybe
it. Shot glass.
Maybe he uses that to feed his plants.
That's the other thing. Maybe, you know what he does? Maybe, just maybe, a little bird, has been abandoned by its mother. Oh, you know what I mean? It was sitting in a nest with those when they put their mouth open and nothing. So Randy said, I got to get something. So he acquired a Coke straw so he could drop food into the mouth. Well, he regurgitated it too, obviously. He would eat it.
Chew it up and spit it through that straw, you guys. It was
torture
you
mix it with
on
water.
This man.
It makes it easier. But I mean, that's the kind of guy he is, though. He's willing to do that. That's the thing. Good guy. Jesus Christ. That's
either that or a horrible rapist.
Or a horrible rapist.
Horrible murdering rapist.
Oh, my God. They bring up June 2nd, 1981. A young cleaning woman steps on the witness stand, bursts into tears, points out Randall, and says, quote, you did it, I hate you. You did it, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. So that's 1, 2, 3. So 4, 7 I hate you so far, just in the pretrial shit, which is pretty wild. He just sat there with no facial expression while being screamed at by multiple women saying that they hate him, they hate him, they hate him, which is pretty awesome, I got to say. Not bad. I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. His lawyers accused the prosecution of planning this woman's actions, saying they were very well orchestrated. You told her to say that, to freak out, get emotional. So they called a recess, and the judge announced that he did not plan to place a gag order on the proceedings, but asked the news media, again, please use discretion. And they were like, no problem. You know where I'm reading this from? The newspaper, by the way. So they did not.
Yeah.
They did not use it at all. So his attorney on June 8th asked the judge to prevent certain witnesses from being able to testify.
Yeah.
Yes. They're asking for the Garcia woman who just testified and said, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. Woodfield's court-appointed lawyer claimed the hypnosis procedure they did with her did not meet legal requirements, and he asked the judge to exclude her testimony, which nowadays they would. We know that hypnosis is ridiculous, and we wouldn't do that. He warned of the danger of post-hypnotic suggestion and the possibility that hypnosis could undermine the competency of the witness. That's what they say. They fucked up your mind. How can you do that now? They argued, the district attorney argued, that the hypnosis was a standard police procedure and rejected the allegations that a tape recording of the hypnosis session had been altered. So, they ruled here on this. I believe that she's going to be able to testify anyway. So there you go. I think we'll stop it here before the trial starts. Let's go. Let's pick up next week with the trial.
Great.
With the trial and his prison and everything
Terrific,
else. So, spoiler alert, he's not going to walk free on this shit.
No, he's not going to get away with it?
I'm just saying, if anyone out there is going, I wonder what's going to happen.
The baby bird defense, it doesn't work?
I mean, it might. You never know.
He needs Charlie Day with this bird law.
I got bird law. I'm telling you, he was saving a life, really, if you look at it that way. He's just, the man just cares too much. That's all it is. So, we'll leave it off there. Thank you for listening to this awesome, crazy, weird, fucking Randy Woodfield adventure that we have going on here. If you like what you're hearing, please give us 5 stars on whatever app you're listening on. It really, really helps a lot. And some people have switched apps. Throw the 5 stars on the new one you're listening on. Help out a lot there. So do that. Keep hanging with us. Also, head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. All sorts of shit there. Merchandise, more merchandise than you could possibly want for crime and sports, your stupid opinion, small town murder, anything and everything that we do is on there. And tour dates and tickets for small town murder live shows. So please, please get in there and buy your tickets now. Philly, DC, what do we got? Philly, DC, Seattle. I think those are the only ones with tickets left right now. So go on and get those tickets right now. I think they're our last 3 shows of the year.
They are.
They are in November and December, I believe, or October, one of those. I don't remember. Either way, check the website. That's where the shit is. Do that. You certainly want to follow on social media at Crime and Sports, and definitely get Patreon. Get yourself some Patreon is the word. I was looking at a word on the script here on my notes, and I saw pat downs because it's in quotes and big, and I almost said James. Pat down and not Patreon. Holy shit. Hey, let's give him a pat down on Patreon. We promise you a free pat down on Patreon. Patreon.com/crime in sports. You get all the bonus material. Anybody over $5 a month, $5 a month or over, I should say, you're going to get hundreds of back episodes of bonus shit you've never heard immediately upon subscription. Then you're going to get new ones every other week as well. We got the prisoner dating game this one coming up. So goddamn it, get in there. And on top of all of that, you now get all 3 shows ad-free on Patreon. Crime and Sports, Your Stupid Opinions, and both episodes per week of Small Town Murder. All ad-free for $5. I mean, honestly. What more can we do? Bake you a cake? I don't know what else we can do here. So get in there for sure and get yourself some Patreon. And also with the Patreon, patreon.com/crime and sports, you get a shout out, which we're going to do right now. Jimmy, I'd like you to hit me with the names of the people who would never, ever, ever lie in court about giving us handguns, or for that matter, who would never try to say that a witness was mentally deranged now because she'd been hypnotized once. Jimmy, hit me with those people, those wonderful people, right fucking now.
This week's executive producer, Jamie Kadrovich, Catherine Giles, Alana Zamel, thank you again, Zamel, and Gary Creeders, happy birthday, and Brian, thank you so much. Brian with no last name.
Thank you, Brian, without your last name. We appreciate you.
Other producers this week, Peyton Meadows, Duncan Z. Peters, probably not, Liz Vasquez, Janice Hill, Georgia Liptak, hey, I know her, Ashley Eichler maybe, Rob Nash, no, never mind. Allison with no last name, Joe Sallow, Wendy Gorski, Jeff Orbeck, Rebecca Zavala, Jessica Williams, Melissa Caban, Lisa Earl. It's Earl, like Steve. Melissa B. Ethan Banky, Daniel with no last name, Krista Gregg, Ryan Pizzuto, Brandy Cameron, Jeremy Rice, Amanda with no last name, Tim with no last name, Roger with no last name, Anina Dodiston, Kelly Jo May, Jake with no last name, Evangeline Maynard, Ian Ray, Lauren with no last name, Rebecca Ridenour, Leo My Murderer, I don't know what that means, K and R, the letters K and R, Hayden Morris, Danny Stewart, Tamal 99, Mary Price, Susan Sobosinski, Jess King, Wanda Schatzberg Gray, Felicia Roach, Brian Moore, Tiffany Wright, Benjamin Jones, Christian Delgado, John Grant, Ash with no last name, Sophie Cooney, Max Hubley is an idiot, Hubley perhaps. I don't think. Let's
be specific about who's an idiot here.
It's probably Hubley. Tanya Hamilton. It might be. Steve Barron. Holly L.A. Zaborowski. Anonymous. Just a random person that wants to remain anonymous. Peter with no last name.
Lovely.
Aaron Flight, David Varner, Colin Wyron, Vinny the Cocaine King, Vishnoknishki.
Oh, well then. Well, thank you
I don't know.
for giving us some of your cocaine money.
Don't arrest that man.
Yeah, if you're selling cocaine, you should donate more. Probably you have plenty of money.
Leah with no last name. Elisa with no last name. Donal Owen. Vale with no last name. Melvin with no last name.
We're not too good for drug money, people. We're not too good for drug money. We will take any illegal proceeds. We don't care. We'll use it for good.
Just don't send coke. I don't care about that.
We don't want coke, but we'll
Sell
take
it
the money.
And give me the money.
That's
Dana Wilcher. Courtney Franklin. Amelia Bont. Stacy Meacham. Tim S. Mark Donaldson. Catherine Belneve. Christina Cothron, Michelle Richards, Doc Bob, Lisa W., Jennifer Pernia, Preston Richards, Caleb Eversole, Megatron, Jen and Hattie, Emily Merton, Jordan with no last name, Matt Rogers, Zach Nikolai, Katie Hayes, Blake Harrell, Justin Wilson, Kathy Frazier, Chris Mosley, Amanda Stout, Whitney Belick, Amanda Weisbrod, Cole Lee, Jeremy with no last name, Megan Davis, Josh Bengay, Nancy Beckman.
Which one?
Brianna Burnett, Carly Edwards, Ashley Hicks, Naomi Belt, Jordan Gerlach, Brian Bouch, Sarah Wilhelm, Beth with no last name, Sabrina with no last name, Yellow Jaybird, Pleb Bob, Violet Halloran, Susan with no last name, Cameron Holland, Danae Smith, SB DeBandit, Espy, Kendra.
Stolen SB award?
Stolen SB DeBandit, Kendra Sigersma, Mike Shearer, Mitchell Holmes, Donna Sauls, Lake with no last name, Dave Butts, Rudy with no last name, Tammy Kinnison, Sam's kid, Joanna Dresser, Mario Zaragoza, Jessica Hatter, Brian Hopkins, Sasha +5, Abby Smith, Hildu Run, oh boy, Sigurdoda, Kavar Ran. Scrotum Face Sam, I know that one. Adam Graham, Heather DeAnda, Nora Moen, like faucets. Sandra McGammon, Josh Picot, belligerent behaviorist. Cody with no last name. Chantel Hamal, Carrie with no last name. Mickey Hardy, Brandon Dura, Kathleen Smith, Angela Bartlett, Shelley Nance, Declan Delaney, JT Matei, Driskard, Jorgensen, Shay Hansen, Leaf Blizzard, Carrie Sipik, Summer Walker, Drizzy Dorden, all right, Casey, nope, that's Stacy Mitchell, Carly Vieira, Nicole Ferris, Mr. Saturday, Brett Caldwell, Tina Schlingman, Kate with no last name, Jeremy Brenton, Parker Jones, Daniel Vincent, Becca with no last name, Virginia Bacon, Suzanne with no last name, Sonia Walker, Crystal K, Jeff with no last name, Ryan T, Tamara Crane, Ralph Castaneda, Bobby Potoff, Christina Olson, John Gorman, Carolyn Hyde, Justin Black, Sierra Savadas, Viceroy Burrito, Cindy Whitlock, Jesus, Barbie Pickens, Shannon Roseanne.
Change your name, sweetheart.
Sherry DC, Michael Bjorklund, Diane Slaughter, Linda Sandifer, Carrie Flanagan, Katie Manier, Andrea Oliver, Kiana Smith, Suzanne Libel, Sigmund, Matt Roselle, Brando Brandflake, Trisha Topping, Tyler Eller, Angela B, Monty Prinz, Elaine Barnes, Chad McClure, Renee Burdett, Jacob with no last name, Them Home, T News, Hannah Montague, Robert Fleming, Scott Silberman, Monica Quinn, Jessica Berkeley, Spencer Majeski, Luke McDonald, Sylvia Hernandez, Tyler Rako, Corey McGoodall, Sam with no last name, Sammy FedEx, Lori Bullock, Justin Meyer, Tom with no last name, Suzanne Harris, Susan Harris, Jane Shea, Megan Haggerty, Jen Strauss, W.M. Rice, Marilyn Cano, Jason Boyd, Kayla with no last name, Susan Wolfenbarger, Mark Nixon, Kazuka with no last name, Jessica Walters, Marcos Kinkoza,
nice.
Queen
well
Koza, Scotty Midget? No, it's Miget, right? That's Myget? That's not Midget. Slade Garrett, T with no last name, Hale Nimrod, Tony, McGough, Therina Lee, Lexi with no last name, Nicole with no last name, John Schultz, Dominic Draper, Richard Profrock, Nathan Pitts, Finnis with no last name, Dina Dyer, Casey Randall, Megan Ross, Kevin Nolan, Terry Ann Chin, Danielle Caitlin, Care Bear, Cordy Crawford, Wyatt with no last name, Lolo Hill, Lisa Appling, Sarah Dawson Adair, Dan Rogers, Christine Fry, Beverly C., Stephen Hobbs, Ricky Kerner, Mary with no last name, Kathy J.C., Ann Fruchette, Eric Diebler, Pamela Parsons, Emily Dillon, Prue with no last name, Tessa Marshall, Amy Kellogg, Tim Wheeler, Carissa Kirsch, Laura Galloway, Rusty Shackleford, and the Pocket Sand. Ashley with no last name, Melanie Hines, Tyler Campbell, Leanne J., Beth Bernetsky, Amy Oldfield, Ama Williams, AMA. Ask Me Anything Williams, Amanda Ingalls, like Laura's kid. Jesus. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And all of our patrons. You guys are the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. You wonderful, magnificent bastards. We can't do anything without you guys. Thank you. You're the life fucking blood of the show. So we appreciate all that you do for us on a weekly, monthly, yearly, and daily basis.
Yeah.
Thank you. From spreading the word to donating to whatever it is, just thank you so much for all that you've done for us. Not only now, for the last almost 10 years. Thank you.
Yeah.
You guys are fucking awesome. You've made this a thing, and it's been 9.5 years worth of it. So thank you so much for doing that. And if you want to get a hold of us at any point, you can find us. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. There's drop-down menus with links to all the social media and all that good stuff. So come hang out with us and keep hanging out with us. And live from the Crime and Sports Studios, we will see you next week.
Bye.